sisters, niggas, whiteys, Jews, crackers. Don't worry. If there's hell below, we're all gonna go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Angry Black Man Syndrome Podcast, episode 7. We've got 7 episodes so far, man. I fucking love this podcast. So before we get underway, I actually wanted to play the speech by the famous Charles Ramsey, the guy who rescued Amanda Berry and 2-3 other women that was kidnapped by some crazy guy. So I guess we'll get into that.
You want to go play it right now?
Yeah.
Boom.
It's funny as hell, and it's fucking...
This is a multiple audio
Why don't you
failures.
turn off the funk real quick?
All right, here we go.
Doesn't he just sound like he has a perm?
Yep.
He stops. You know, he's like, shit.
I've got interviews over.
Yep.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just one of the best speeches you ever heard, man? Brother sounds like he has a perm and a gold tooth, man. You like just the way he talks, man. I love him though. That was fucking interesting. What do you guys think about that whole ordeal, man?
Whoa, sorry. What a fucking character. I like, my favorite part is when the sirens go off and he just stops, man. I didn't know if he was coming back. He was about to hit it for good, but I love it. You know, he's like, he's got some big testicles
I think it would have been funny.
to have them girls in there.
I think it would have been fucking hilarious if he was like, when the siren went off and it was like, stop
Gotta
for
go.
like a second, and then he whispered, I got crack in my pocket.
What about you, Paul? What do you think about this whole thing, man?
I want this guy to just be rescuing every girl trapped in a house from
Right.
now on.
Right,
Like,
man.
whatever happens, like, Just bring him in right when they're free.
He should be a superhero, man.
No,
he should
this
be.
guy should be like the dude in To Catch a Predator. Like he sit him down and be like, man, a white woman running into a black man's arms.
He should make T-shirts.
I don't find it so strange because it's pretty rare that black guys actually imprison people for a decade in their house. So I don't find it so strange that she went running to his arms. That's a Puerto Rican game.
Man, it was funny. He thought that running a pretty little white girl running into his arms was strange because, isn't that like the common assumption that, that's all, pretty white girls do these days is they run into a black dude's arms, like.
Usually they're running away.
Yeah. But it's, like when I first heard about that, I was like, wow. And then I listened to it like a couple times, and I was like, barbecue and salsa music? Man, this dude is a diverse culture
right?
guy,
He's a
right?
Renaissance
Did
man.
he have like fucking Mexican girls in there too?
Man.
He did. He had one Mexican girl in there.
Maybe she put him up
Actually.
on salsa music, and then like
He was like a Puerto Rican dude, wasn't he?
Oh,
Isn't that
yeah?
right? So,
Wow.
yeah. So I don't know. Actually, when I first saw the thing, because we don't know who the Amanda Berry is over here, or I didn't know. In Cleveland, apparently everybody knew because it was a big story. But I actually thought that guy was the story. When I
Yeah.
first saw it on the news, I was like, oh, this crazy character is this is a great story, whoever he is. But then it took a day for me to realize there was these kidnapped victims too, because he's actually the main character in that tale, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think if I was to meet this guy, I mean, if I was this dude with the perm, air quotes, any white person that I met that I was friends with, I'd just investigate their basement. Like,
yeah, that's a good.
I'd just be like, you seem too good to be true to like me this much as a white man, and me being a black man. Can I go see your basement?
That's a good idea. I mean, that was kind of the point I was trying to make about running the black man's arms. I mean, historically, white people are the ones who do like long-term imprisonment rape. You know what I mean? And
Or as-
serial killing.
Or as
So-
we call crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Man, I mean, it's hard to like make jokes about it because
it's so funny.
It's a
easy.
fucked up thing.
It's easy. You mean with all those women in there, you couldn't sync your period up to attack him, and break the fuck out? No, you could. That's
Jesus.
Your mic's out, then. Hey, Paul, your mic's out, man.
You might have to adjust your mic
Jiggle the thing
because
around
it's there it is. Play with the cord a little.
Ah, there we go.
There we go.
Nope.
Yeah.
Dude.
Not working. Not working. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's hard to make jokes about it, but I mean, there is something funny about a brother with a perm just giving a speech. I mean, this dude has a perm, by the way. I'm not making it. I mean, it's so fun. I harp on shit like that because it's just, it's funny to me, but.
Well, it looks like the
Yeah,
last
it could
time
be
he
a
changed
70s
his
blaxploitation detective.
Yeah, that's what he looks like, what's his name? The Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, he was kind of like still in style when they got kidnapped. So it was appropriate when they came out the door. They're like, "Oh God, good, nothing's changed."
I just like the idea that like nowadays black people are saving America. Like Obama.
Who would have thought? Yeah.
From Obama to Charles Ramsey, it just seems like black. Now they got 2 movies coming out where black presidents have to stop the White House from being destroyed by random terrorists.
Oh my God! Like it's gonna happen again. Like you're
Django
gonna have
and
another black
Chain.
guy in office anytime soon. Come on, you get one and you start making a ton of movies.
Hey, black guys have stopped terrorism and they've stopped asteroids.
Asteroids.
So black presidents can do 2 things.
2 things. I mean, Wesley Snipes pioneered it with Passenger 57.
Yeah.
He
They'll stop
foresaw.
hijackings.
He foresaw the future.
Although the weird part is now we're actually in the future because we have a black president who kills people with robots.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
I didn't know
stuff.
Skynet would have like a black leader to it.
What a turn
You
of
think they would?
events.
You think they would have
Yeah.
mentioned that to John Connor?
Yeah. Hey, John Connor, by the way, some guy who's half African and half Kansas will start Skynet. So have fun with that. Your mom's also crazy. Oh boy. I mean that's a beautiful story though, man. Just to see that. What's up, Travis? You over there eating a fucking sandwich? Is that what you're doing? Just to see that.
Eating the Jimmy John's.
Well,
enjoying that sandwich.
He
Is that
just showed up down here at the podcast. Did you know there was a pod going on? He just came on down. He just happened to be here. Oh, that's cool. He
This
felt
just
it.
this just where you go for sandwich
He's like the
time.
sixth man on the bench, you know. He's
Yeah.
just waiting to get in the game, you know.
Nice.
One of us pulls a hammy, he's in it.
Yeah. He's just gonna come in. Put me in, coach. I got Charles Ramsey jokes, you know.
Nah, he's like here just in case you pass out with all your anger. He's just gonna substitute for you.
That's good. It's like that reverse Key and Peele sketch where like I'm just angry, and then he's gonna be the rational part of whatever the fuck I'm saying.
He's your stunt anger guy.
Yeah, he's my stunt like Sidney Poitier or my stunt like who's a peaceful.
He is pretty, so you know.
He's my stunt Ralph. What's that guy? The Don't Worry. Ralph McLaren or something.
Bobby McFerrin?
Bobby McFerrin.
He's my stunt
Yeah.
Bobby
Pretty
McFerrin.
close, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I don't want to. I'm not going to derail your direction where you're going, but I something interesting is I read a something on your Facebook the other day, kind of a rant you did.
Oh.
I thought this would be a great time to address it
Oh,
and just.
Jesus Christ! Yes.
Okay.
I'd love to talk, have you explain it and talk to us a little bit.
We can do it point
I could
by
tell
point
you
if you want.
the gist of it, which was, you know, I'm Anthony Robinson and I fucking hate you, Seattle hipsters, you know, and I hate this and this and this. And I you know, if you can go through it point by point and kind of let us address it, because it got
Okay.
a lot of attention and I thought it was a worthwhile thing.
I'm just gonna rest up and just say you're right, so I don't have to say it a bunch of times. So there you go.
Well, I want to hear more about it. I'm intrigued
well-
about your perspective and your
Why
point
are
of view.
you mad, motherfucker? Shit.
Well, the number one thing that like I'll start from one. I'll go from 1 to 5. The first one I talked about the self-hating mixed race folks. You know, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't talk about him like he's not here. Motherfuckers in the room already. Jesus Christ.
It could not be more perfect that you look that surprised.
I think that was
meat hanging from
with
your
the ham
mouth.
coming off his
Yeah,
lip.
we'll hang him.
He makes it
hang
lovable because it's he's like a Jewish person. He's just self-deprecating. You know, like it's funny, it's endearing, right?
Okay.
But like all the time you
He's
walk
like a Jewish person. He's
like
eating ham.
I meet people like I meet a lot of people around here, and you know a lot of them tend to be black folks and mixed race people and whatever, and it's just weird to me to see people who self-hate. It's not even, it doesn't just stop at self-deprecating, because I self-deprecate. It goes to like I actually hate my black side or whatever ethnic side in favor of their European side or whatever. And my only opinion on that is just love all your sides. If you're biracial, if you embrace your black shit and embrace your whatever shit you mix with. If you're Japanese and Lithuanian,
Travis,
embrace.
perhaps you should sit over here for this. You want to share a mic with Paul or something?
He's in deep in a sandwich,
he's
dude.
deep, yeah.
He's in deep on his white side right now, enjoying a Wonder Bread sandwich
Fucking
of some
ham
sort.
sandwich.
And like the second one I talked about with the white nerds and liberal paternalism. People know that I'm geeky. People know that I tend to be, geeky about stuff. But at the same time, the one thing white nerds do in the Northwest that I don't like is paternalism. They act like they're going to parent the situation, and that's authoritarian, and I don't like that.
What
give us an example
are
of
you
that.
talking about?
Well, as far as like when in discussions about say race or something, sometimes white nerds, they have a problem with hearing other voices other than their own on those type of subjects. So, like for instance, if I'm talking about some sort of racism or some whatever. Sometimes I've encountered the white nerd reaction of, well, we're all the same. You know what I mean? Like they react strongly in that regard. We're all the same without really examining why we are the same or why we're different and why not embrace the differences. But it seems like sometimes they overreact when they hear a controversial or, something different coming in the conversation.
Does this happen while you're playing Magic or D&D? Did this happen at like SakuraCon?
Well, you want a specific incident?
Yeah, because this seems
Okay,
like
well,
this
I
is
can-
vague.
Okay, well, my friends, I had friends back in Kansas City. We were hanging out at Famous Johnny's one time, and they're comedians, and a lot of them were white, and we're hanging out, and when I hang out, people like to make black jokes or whatever. It's fun, and without me even really prompting anything or getting to actually talk about racism, because they brought it up. I didn't bring it up. My friend Lauren said, "Oh, we're all the same. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about acknowledging it. We're all the same." And it's like, well, okay, fine. We all have the same organs or whatever. We all bleed. That's true. But why are you so afraid to examine the differences and talk about that? I think that sometimes people on the left, and again, I'm a leftist too, everyone knows that, but sometimes people on the left do have a hard time hearing about some hard shit like other people go through,
Now, what you're saying is that this person who happened to be white, they just brought it up.
They just brought it up. A lot of times people just I don't even prompt the conversation. They bring it up.
No, because there's been I see what you're saying, because there's been times where I'll be the only black guy in the room, and there's always some asshole that's like, "Hey, how do you feel?"
Right,
like,
right.
What are you talking about? I feel kind of good. He's like, no. You're the only black guy here. And it's like, okay, now I feel like you're an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's like I know that. I surveyed the room before I walked in, and I didn't turn around and say, "Fuck this, I'm leaving." I stayed. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I see what you're saying, and it's just kind of dumb when you just bring it like, when someone brings it up like that. It's like, I fucking know that. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to tell me. I knew that the very moment I sat down and ate a bagel or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right, and I mean, you can take it out of the racial thing, and then just in general, sometimes I feel like, people in the Northwest can be a little touchy-feely about stuff. And to me, sometimes it's just like, get over yourself. If I'm mad about something, I'll let you know. If you messed up, you don't have to be so uptight that we can't have a real conversation and joke around and, have some ball busting, because that's fun. That's why you hang out with your friends. They break your balls, they say some outrageous shit. It's fun. And, sometimes when I'm hanging out, people, some people who have strong convictions about things, they get wrapped up in that, and then they miss the joke. Like part of, being a comedian is we say the wrong things because we like to point out that it's wrong.
Well, and you like to explore that kind of shit too, right? And I think you make a point, even whether it's racial or not, that there's a bunch of people in Seattle right now that are so politically correct that the first thing they say is what they're supposed to say, right?
Right.
So like you said, like your friend saying, "Oh, no, we're all the same." That's like a knee-jerk reaction to something that people these days seem to be trained to say, or to do. It's
right.
Like people are fucking annoying, really, right now, right? Because you can't really dig in deep to a lot of people because they, a lot of people in this particular region that we're living in right now seem to sort of have that. They have all the right answers sort of already penciled out. How they're supposed to believe and how liberal they are and all that bullshit. So, and I think it applies, not just with racial stuff, but it applies with just about fucking everything, with food you eat and everything else. They're non-GMO certified. I'm fucking, I'm what the fuck is it that Hilbert's girlfriend is? She doesn't eat gluten, right?
Yeah, gluten-free.
I mean, gluten-free. I mean, these things just come out of people so fast these days. Oh, no gluten, no, and people around here just do everything they're fucking supposed to be, doing, or they say everything that they think that they're supposed to be saying.
Yeah, I don't even call it political correctness. I just call it like pretentiousness.
Well,
really.
it is. It's almost
That's what
it's
it
kind of
is.
it's almost trendy, right? To say and have this belief system or these things sort of aligned with. I call it political correctness in some ways, but it's kind of popular and trendy to believe and let people know what you believe,
right? Whether
or not you really examine those thoughts or beliefs or not,
right? And
but that's anywhere, man.
No, it's true. No, it is. It just happens to be
that's
on a
just
certain.
It's just a Northwest thing to have it be a more liberal thing.
Right, exactly.
But
that's sort of the genre of it or whatever is this sort of liberal thing. But you're right. It is.
I don't mean. I prefer that to like being around the South and just hearing white people drop the N-bomb like it's a fucking like.
Right.
And they do it proudly. And it's just like I called on it one time. The guy was just like, "Oh, that's just my racism coming out."
No, not your,
Like-
not
like-
your ignorance, just your
yeah,
racism.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a choice. That's not a medical condition.
You know, the South is changing, though. I mean, there's a lot of migration going to the South. You know, people of color, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's called
People of color.
it's called people who can't afford to live in New York. So they go down
Exactly, exactly,
is.
Jamal. And so people are moving back to the South, and the South is starting to be more culturally diverse, especially in places like Atlanta.
especially Atlanta.
Atlanta is like the new Harlem, basically.
It's the
you know?
South. It's like the New York of the South,
Yeah, yeah,
except for it's shitty.
yeah. And I mean, I'm not. I mean, Paul brings up a great point too. It's like I'm from Missouri, so like in that part of the country, it's the opposite. People are so stupid and honest. You know, it's just they're just so stupid and honest.
Everyone in southern Missouri looks like a David Lynch castle.
That, yeah.
There's something wrong with everyone's face.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even go to the Lake or the Ozarks if I'm back in. You know, I don't fuck around with that shit. You know, because it's the opposite. It's it's people that are way too honest for their own good. There's no self-examination at all. It's just agreed upon ignorance, treated as knowledge. You know, that type of shit. It's bullshit.
But that's everywhere.
Sure, sure. But, you know, the only reason I brought up the whole white nerdy thing is just because, you know, some of my friends might fit that description. And, you know, I like to, you know, be a little challenging sometimes. And like I said, the whole paternalistic part, it's not even the nerdy part. It's just the paternalistic part. It's the I'm going to speak for you even if you didn't necessarily ask me to speak for you, that sort of thing. And that's, you know, like, I respect when someone can relate to what I'm going through and speak for that. But sometimes when I speak for that, it feels like people are like, well, you know, of course you're going to feel that way, you know.
You're black.
Right, exactly. And it's like, well, you know, it's diminishing almost in a way. At least that's how I feel sometimes, you know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. What about you, Paul, or do you, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, like a lot of the time, just being Jewish, people, you know, kind of bring up, I'm not going to say it's anything similar, but maybe in the same vein, where they're like, oh, you know, if I could be any religion, I'd be Jewish. And I'm like, you know, you can convert.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's if you really want it that bad.
Right.
Or
Yeah,
you know, I mean, one time the Quincy, like the dumbest thing I ever, not the dumbest, sorry, but like it was one of those things where she's like, where did you get this? Like he came up to me, he's like, man, you're pretty tough for a Jew.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you realize we do
Wow.
militarily control a country.
Wow.
Psychologically,
Wow.
too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fucking, yeah.
But it's, I don't know. Yeah, it's something you just kind of wave off. You're like, yeah, all right. If you're not physically hurting me, then who
Right.
gives a shit? You see how far that gets you, buddy.
Yeah.
Especially in L.A.
And what was the third one I said, what was that? Was it the, it was the nerds, the hipsters in denial. That was the fourth one. We skipped over the third one.
What's hipsters in denial?
Hipsters in denial are basically when you dress like a hipster, you speak the lingo, and you have this you know elitist taste in music. But when someone goes, hey, you're a hipster, you go, oh, no, I'm not.
I hate hipsters.
I mean, it's not even.
Everyone hates hipsters, but I think maybe we all are hipsters, and we don't know it. You know, I mean,
Oh God. don't say
I was in my prime in the '90s. You know, I was like, dude, I'm not grunge, but looking back, I think I might have been.
I definitely,
You know,
I
I mean-
wore flannel.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Like,
Maybe we
that's-
are all
that's
hip. I
what
mean, I
we're all
don't.
doing.
My pants aren't that skinny, but
Right.
I mean, that's what I think of when I see a hipster. But maybe 10 years down the road, we'll go, I was kind of a hipster. I was. you know,
Right.
I was listening to some hipster
I don't know. If
shit.
you're wearing a Misfits shirt, does that make you punk? Or if you're
Not
wearing
anymore.
A Misfits
It
shirt
did.
that's like all ripped up.
No, I mean, not if you got a Hot Topic. It doesn't make you.
Right.
It doesn't make you punk at all. It makes you.
And
you know,
if
Yeah, I mean, if you did, then I guess it makes you like a little pop punk or something. Maybe I don't know.
See, I despise
Makes
pop
you
punk.
ironic, I guess.
I like pop punk. That's what it sounds like. Whenever I listen to pop punk, it sounds like the whiniest shit.
What is an
My
example of
mom
it?
beat
Yeah,
me.
what's- oh.
And the vocals sound like that, you know?
you know, like
Simple
Do
Plan
we say
or
Offspring? Do we dare say that?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, late '90s Offspring.
Oh, okay.
Not like,
Now that's a hipster thing to
not
say.
like-
Like there was something
like-
better before
or
that
like-
of the
or like
Offspring.
Shitty-
Yes,
or
yes,
Shitty-
there
Like
was.
the early Offspring was good, but the
or Good
Yeah,
Charlotte.
it was.
They fall in that category.
Oh yeah,
Like
totally.
shitty bands like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
just
Terrible.
whiny fucking shitty band.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Were you
Yeah, no
manufacturing angst? Fuck that. Get out there and shoot heroin. Be a real rock
good.
star.
That's
you know.
right. Man.
Yeah, whatever.
I combined to that.
Whatever happened to that? That's what the coolest
They
rock
all
bands used to
died.
just-
They all did.
We're waiting for a new wave
That
of
was
them.
That's true. Yeah. What are you gonna do, right? Like whatever happened to just like shooting up heroin and just coming out with a kick-ass album? Like when did that ever come out of style? You know what I mean?
the late '90s.
the
when
late,
they all
yeah,
died.
when they
When
they
the heroin
died.
got more pure and
I think when Lane Staley died, I think that pretty
That was
much.
it. That was
yeah,
the last
when
one.
When
Yeah.
rockers started turning 27 and saying "fuck this."
pretty
Bradley
much.
Noel and-
Yeah, it's just like it's all the good shit is just it's done. There's no like I feel like
Yeah,
if
there's never going to be good music
Def-
ever again. Never again.
if
We've
Deftones
reached
and
the
Korn,
peak
if Deftones and
of
Korn, which are like
everything.
my two favorite bands, if they stopped, it's like what or System of a
Korn?
Down even.
It's just
like,
going to be
what,
fun.
Do you like?
Didn't they
Do you?
stop?
What else?
Do
what
you
else
do
is
you
there?
still listen to Korn?
I do.
Oh my God! Now I'm
want-
gonna be a hipster and say that
Wow.
fucking Korn sucks.
I don't.
man.
I don't want to be the one to tell you, but they may already have stopped. I
Yeah.
don't
mean,
know.
Follow the Leader was cool and like Life is Peachy and all that stuff. But once they started doing dubstep rock,
Oh, this was a black guy podcast. What is
I know,
this? What are we
I know,
talking about?
I know.
We're talking about corn right now.
I know,
Okay,
I
now you're
know.
making me angry.
I know.
Freak
See,
on
I'm
the
guilty of the hipster thing too. I'm not in denial. I don't. If someone said, "Hey, Anthony, you could be a hipster," I would react and be like, "Could I be?" I
You
mean, that's
just
the
pulled
perfect.
some hipster shit just now talking about my band sucks. No, I'm kidding.
I know. That's why
happens.
I admitted it. You know. But that's all I was saying on that point. It was just, I mean, if it quacks like a duck. And it looks like a duck. I guess it's a turkey being ironic. You know, is that what it is? You know, like that's I don't know. But what was the third one on the list? It was
I think wasn't that the fourth or third? Just
that was
now?
the fourth one.
Number 3 is people that can't have a conversation.
Oh yeah, people like I find this happening a lot. You know, some people talk at you. You know, they're talking at you with information that what is this relevant to? Like what? How am I getting to know you as a person based on this conversation? You know what I mean? Like, are you just trying to impress me with obscure references that I don't know? And then I have to ask questions like, okay, what is that? And then they have to explain it. And then, okay, are we? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, sir. We're about to have a conversation, but I'm not going to preface that. Really, I'm just going to try to show you how smarter than you I am.
Right.
And but you're just not going to know it until you decide to punch me in the face and walk away.
just going to engage you in this without even really asking or easing in.
And the weird thing is, most of the information is shit I don't even care about.
Sure.
Why
It's
would you?
a lot
You'd
of-
know about
I
it if
don't
you
even
cared about it.
care.
It's junk information, Part of I think what conversations are, you're assessing what kind of a person that you're talking to and how well that you get along or how awful you get along with that person based on whatever things that they're into and whatever things you're into, right? That's what you're
but
doing.
I think we're all kind of spoiled being comics because I've had
Someone. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Paul. Someone who's. This is a call. What's up? Who's calling in? This sounds like David Leon.
All right, thanks for the call.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Wow, that was the lamest call in ever, man.
That's that lunatic from Arizona that always calls in and then hangs up.
Yeah?
Who is
Sicko.
this person? I
I
have
thought
their
that was going
number.
to be a ghost.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was David Leon. I thought he was because it sounded like, hey guys, I'm David Leon. I thought he was gonna.
Thought it was going to be the ghost of MLK thanking Anthony for this awesome podcast. You've done well, my son.
You brought Jews and Gentiles and blacks in the same room. It's fucking.
I had a dream. You followed it.
Yeah,
But-
to your point about what you're just saying is, I didn't use I didn't want to ever use Facebook. I didn't start using it until maybe a year ago.
Thanks for having me, too.
And yeah, I did. Thank you for accepting my request after drilling me about who the hell I was. But I appreciate that. But anyway, I just started using Facebook not too long ago. And what I find on there is the same as what you're saying is that people are constantly. Well, I mean, that's what you do on Facebook, right? You update your
Right.
status. You say, "This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm all about." But
Right.
it's starting to bleed over into people's conversations. Instead of asking you, "Hey, how are you doing? What are you up to today?
Right.
What'd you spend the day doing?" No one gives a shit. They're just throwing information at you,
Right.
right? Like just like a tweet or a Facebook post, they're constantly giving you all the shit
Right.
about them you don't give a fuck about, and they assume you care.
This is why
Even in
small.
person.
This is why small talk is important. I know that some people think that, I hate talk about the weather, but the reason why you make those kind of small talks is you're actually learning
It's
about
a two-way
what kinda-
interaction.
Right, you're learning like based on that that simple question alone. You're learning about a person. That's why I ask people about movies, because I can tell a lot about people just based on their taste in movies. If you like Tromo movies, you're probably a juggalo or close to a juggalo.
Wait a minute. Whatever, dude. Those guys. Listen, I like trauma movies way before it was cool to be a juggalo. I was watching The Toxic Avenger when I was just a young man. That was a great movie. I didn't know juggalos like that. That's a heartbreaking thing.
I never heard that.
Well,
That's
it's
a-
close. You're closer to a juggalo. You may not be a
that
because
was
those
punk rock.
movies. Yeah. So it's like you can assess people just based on those kind of conversations, and then once you get comfortable, then you get to like the philosophy conversations and
Well, I think too
sci-fi.
with the people that you probably hang out with more than I do. I mean, you hang out with a lot of comics. You're doing open mics, fucking probably every day, multiple times a day in some cases. A lot of these comics are constantly doing this Facebooking and
Oh,
Twittering
yeah.
and shit, and they're always trying to say something funny or do something funny constantly, right?
one-upsmanships, yeah.
And so that's sort of their interaction is like, hey, this is what I got for you. I thought about this today, and I'm coming at you with this and this and this. You don't give a fuck. You want a two-way conversation. They don't give a shit how your day went or like what movie you've seen, any of that. They just come
Yeah.
out blasting you like they're just tweeting you in person.
yeah, yeah,
Fuckers drive me nuts, man.
But
yeah.
I think, but that's just just trying to be entertaining. I think the
Right,
good thing
right.
about comics is that when you're in a conversation with one, they actually know what's interesting,
Yeah.
and that's some like when I listen to people tell stories now, who aren't comics, I'm like, yeah, you got to cut down on a lot of this information. Like you should probably cut down on that setup. Mm-hmm. Edit a lot of this, and then mic it for a bit, and then
Right.
and then tell me this story.
Right. No, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I like riffing with my colleagues because it's in a way, whether we even conscious of it or not, it's exercise.
Yeah.
It's just mental
I don't know,
exercising.
plus it's just fun.
I like
Yeah.
talking to normal people who aren't socially awkward.
Yeah, see, me too, though.
I'm
You know
sorry,
what?
dude.
You
I
get.
just, like, not for nothing. Like the other day, actually, I made a few friends in the past, and the thing is, like, I was just talking to them. I didn't tell them I was a comic. You know what I'm saying? Because just like when you tell people that you're a comic, they expect you.
Hello?
Caller.
Jesus
What's up,
Christ.
man?
What are you doing?
Dude, they keep
No,
calling in.
what's wrong with this woman on the phone, you savage? Get a hold of yourself.
It's like,
Man,
Are you trapped in the basement?
is this Amanda Berry?
This sounds exactly like salad fingers.
ma'am, can you please hang up the phone and dial 911?
We're going to have to hang up. If you're not going to say anything, we're going to have to hang up on you.
Listen, I'll pick up my teriyaki in 10 minutes.
Do you like your spoons? Do you like your collection of spoons?
All right, caller. Sorry,
All right.
we gave you a chance. You're not saying any words. Have a good one. Last
That's-
chance.
And that
No.
was my salad fingers reference.
That's what I thought was happening outside when I was like, was the door open? Who's out there? It's this fucking maniac in the headphones.
Sound like a ghost trapped in a machine or something. Alt delete. Control Alt delete. Nah, man. Yeah. Like that's small talk is cool because it leads to big talk. That's I mean that was my only complaint. I feel like this is damage control. All right, this is what I actually meant. No, but
Well, I think it's cool to explore what you meant because it was a cool post, on the Facebook, and it was got a lot of activity. A lot of people were reading a lot into it. I think.
And you left out the passive aggressive shit. I was like, wow, way to leave out the obvious.
But that's everyone. Even passive aggressive people don't like passive aggression. Like that's
Jesus.
everyone doesn't like that. So and the number 5 on the list, the one that I actually like the most, saying was it's rare that people really address class issues in this region. You know, like I've lived in Tacoma, I've lived in Seattle now, and I mean, you can see it. It's there for the eye to see. There are some class divisions going on, and I don't know if it's just that it's hard to talk about without people getting defensive about it, you know, because not everyone who has money is evil, and not everyone who's poor is good, yada yada, you know. So I imagine it's a hard conversation, but I just don't hear it a lot. It just never seems to be.
Did people address it more in Tacoma? I lived in Tacoma too, but of course I lived in the North End, so you know I don't know. Do people address the sort of class issues? Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. You know, like Tacoma has a rivalry with Seattle.
Yeah.
All right. That's, you know.
I love Tacoma, by the way. I think it's the coolest town. It was my favorite place to live. We moved back to Seattle, and I love Tacoma, partially because I don't know if there was if they're denying the separation of class, but it was more of a working class kind of place, and it was more of even though it's a city, it sort of had more of a small town kind of feel to it. It was very chummy. Like I felt good in sort of every part, you know, and the people they kind of left each other alone, but in a good way, but not, you know, but they also were friendly enough and they weren't it's very fucking snobby up here, right? Like it can be really snobby up in Seattle.
Yeah.
You know, people.
I travel back and forth to, you know, I do different shows around, and I hang out here and in Tacoma, and you can see the difference. And you can feel the difference, you know. Like again, Tacoma's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. When people are like, "Oh, you live near Tacoma," I'm like, "Well, you know, Tacoma is not full of assholes."
No, it's great.
You know what I'm saying?
Great city.
Dorky's Arcade is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I go there, I'll spend $5 worth of quarters
Yeah.
and eat a pizza.
Some good eats up
and
there,
just
too.
Chill
Yeah.
out on Pacific Avenue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, like you were saying, it's hardworking people that live there and that, you know, interact down there. And up here, it's like it's a big city.
Right.
You know,
It's-
compared to Tacoma, there's a lot going on up here. You know, people here aren't so Tacoma-like, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
Tacoma too is kind of like from downtown. You know, you've got the east side and the west and the south and the north, but they all kind of are a lot closer than say West Seattle versus Rainier Beach, right? Like it's a bigger
right.
distance
Right.
geographically here, and
Right.
it's a whole different world between West Seattle and Rainier Beach. It's
Right.
two very different places.
Right. Yeah, the income gap in those places alone are probably way different too, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, cuz it's, you know, I understand like if you're a white collar worker and you have your lifestyle in the city, I don't begrudge people of that. You know, but it seems like sometimes, you know, there are a lot of poor fucking people in Seattle. You know, I've walked around the city and observed it's a lot of poor people in Seattle, you know, and it seems like they never have like any sort of real representation outside of, you know, social organizations, you know, that might help them or assist them.
Run by rich people wanting tax deductions, by the way.
Right. I mean, yeah, and it's, you know, it breaks my heart sometimes, you know. I walk past schizophrenics, you know, and everyone's just got their shopping bag. You know, I earned my shit. They don't even seem to realize that a lot of these guys out here are actually legitimately mentally disabled, and you know, it'd be nice to fucking help these people. I don't like walking past this dude with a long fingernails. You know, he can't trim his fingernails because. What's the point in his head? He's talking to several voices. How does he know that, you know, this is fucking freaky, you know? And yeah, he's just sitting there on the sidewalk and everyone's just going, well, you know, I don't know, I'm apathetic. And it's like, well, this is part of the problem, you know. This is why class divisions happen like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could only help so many of those people. And, you know, the only people, I mean, it's like I used to be poor. I know what it's like. When I see those guys, I'm like, damn, I used to be just like that. I mean, you got to want to help yourself at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like you can't just walk around feeling sorry for yourself.
Schizophrenics aside, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, schizophrenics aside, but poor people and rich people, yeah,
I'm just
absolutely.
talking about like poor people with
Right.
one voice in their head that's their own. You know what I'm saying? No, like
Univoiced poor people.
like there's some help there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you like the crazy one, and I'm you know not judging, but it's just like you could only help those that want to be helped. My mother, we were once upon a time poor and homeless, and she, with 3 kids, found the help that she needed, got government help. I'm not afraid to say it. I was a welfare child once upon a time. You
There's
know what
no
I'm saying?
shame in that.
Well,
I have a food card right now. Fuck it.
Well, okay.
I'm poor as fuck, dude. You know what I mean? I would rather eat than not eat because of some self-righteous assholes.
No, exactly.
You know?
But with the help that my mom got, and then me and my brother and my sister going to school, we were able to help ourselves educational wise, and then graduate, and then kind of go out into the world and help ourselves on our own. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just like, yeah, we got the government help. I feel like a much better person. I'm not ashamed of the station.
It worked. That system worked in that case.
Yeah,
Well, some way.
but
I'm
for
not saying it worked entirely,
for
but
some people, though, they get trapped in that system to a point where it's just like they're so used to government help that they're just like, fuck it. If it's going to be that easy, I might as well just ride the wave till whenever.
actually, I'm going to say something about that maybe it's racist. You tell me. I'm on a black man show.
Uh-oh.
But well, no, I mean, a lot of people, like you're saying, get stuck in this system, and I think that a lot of people who are not poor or not in that system have the assumption that it's maybe not. Maybe there's less white people in that system. That there's a lot
I
of
can
black
address
people in
that.
the system. There's a lot of Asians in the system, and so on. However, what my point is like, do you think that living in that system is almost a new type of slavery, if you will?
No, because
No, not at all.
Really?
it's not even close.
Nope.
Well,
Because
Because
as
they're not being
Well,
forced
okay.
to
Aside
work
from the
for no
chains,
money.
which we'll get to, aside from the chains and the beating, but what I shouldn't say slavery that that openly, like as if it's literally like slavery. But what I mean is, don't you feel it's an entrapment? Do you feel that people can get trapped in there and really become sort of like a
I don't think that's by design, though. I think
Well, it
that's
may not be by
No, I
design,
don't
but-
think it's by
just-
design. I
but if
think
you get
that's,
trapped
the
in that system, aren't you sort of
I wouldn't say trapped, because a lot of people, they just keep themselves in that. I mean, come on, like walk through the projects. You'll see like a woman, middle-aged woman with like 6 or 7 kids, and the government's taking care of her, and she's got no job.
Absolutely, and
that's not the
Yeah,
government.
but is that the
That's
majority
not the
of the
government.
Right,
No, it's not
right.
necessarily the
That-
majority, but
Because
don't you
that's
think those people who take advantage of that system, they're actually sort of unknowingly, maybe the word enslaving themselves isn't right, but they're trapping themselves.
Well,
Why
know,
are you
the-
even using enslaving?
Well, because I guess the way I'm using,
Compare it to slavery.
let's not. Obviously, I'm not saying that they're being beaten by white people, but what I'm saying,
or being forced
it's-
to work.
it's
of
self-
course, not
money.
being forced to work, but what I'm saying is they're more like being
Kind of the
tracked.
opposite of slavery.
It's accidental slavery.
Well, it's accidental slavery.
How is it slavery?
I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying it's
literal
slavery.
slavery.
What I'm saying is you're.
Use a different word.
Okay,
Well, I don't
know what the word is.
Well,
but,
why do people have so much pride about taking government help?
Well, I don't have a problem with government help. I really don't. But what I'm saying is the people who like Jamal was saying, that take advantage of the system, that just don't want to work. Don't you think that those people are really sort of, the government knows where you are at that point. They know what you're doing. You're really, enslaving yourself isn't the right word, perhaps. But what I'm saying is you're tying yourself into a system where the government is actually more of a pain in your ass because they know where you are. They know how much money you have. They know they can keep track of you better. I mean, you're actually. Don't you think that's sort of what they want? I mean,
It almost sounds like it's
nah.
Not at all.
Nah.
No,
Because, in that same instance, then Social Security could be perceived as slavery with that logic.
No,
and
like what the government
people are
wants,
paying into that, so,
What the government wants is for people to work and pay their taxes and
shut
not
the fuck
revolt.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's like
Don't you
three
think they
things.
like it's?
And also, like, as far as welfare
don't
is,
revolt.
as far as welfare goes, it's pretty hard to defraud. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't defraud. You can't really defraud.
I think I've known people that I think have. I mean, I
Yeah?
used to work with people who, for example, they didn't want to be married. A couple didn't want to be married, so that the woman could stay, so they could collect welfare. This woman was on welfare for like 12 years, while what should have been her husband, well, who cares if they got married or not? It's not my problem or my business. But they specifically said, well, we're not getting married. we tell the people that we have separate food bills. You know, they do all, so that it can be done.
Right.
But I'm saying, I mean, that may not even be
It doesn't
more than
happen
1%
as-
of the time. I
right,
mean,
Yeah,
it's
right.
it's not
It's
the
a small
same.
percentage.
It's
And
not
al-
the same thing. But
Most people on welfare generally are off in about 6 months.
Sure.
Because, like, no one wants to be on government assistance. It's not, it's, well, some
Yeah,
people
I mean,
do,
you're
but
not
for
really
most-
living that
yeah,
high
exactly.
on the hog.
no, you're not living
You get
that high.
$200
but,
bucks
I mean,
Yeah.
as a budget for a food card. That's not a
Yeah,
lot of
especially
money.
if you got, like, kids, a mortgage, or
Right.
huge expenses. You're taking care of someone else. You want to be off that as soon as possible.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So, yeah, some people get trapped in the system, but that happens everywhere.
Right. I would say too, like as far as the racial aspect you brought up, white folks use welfare more than black folks. That's just numbers, though. I mean, there are more white people in America than black people, so
Yeah, plus
naturally,
there's another offshoot of that that's being used, well, by everyone, which is disability benefits.
oh,
Which they're starting to, like, disability benefits to become another form of welfare, because people, you just get a doctor to say, well, you can't work, and the government gives you a minimum amount every month, and people just coast on that for us until it runs out.
yeah,
There was a news report on it, or on This American Life.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. It's
Cool.
called Trends with Benefits.
Trends with benefits.
But I mean, I think for me, I think one of the biggest problems now that no one really realizes is that minimum wage hasn't risen with inflation.
By the
Oh,
way,
yeah,
we have
yeah.
a caller on the line. They've been on for like 5 minutes.
All right,
All right. Is it-
call. Who is it?
Is it another ghost?
It's Billy, man. What's up?
Hey,
What's up, Billy? How you doing, man?
Just listening to the podcast live. I always seem to catch it, man.
How's that
Hey.
hangover treating you?
Yeah. I think the term Jason was looking for is marginalization.
Hey,
Marginalization.
yeah, thank you. I
They're
think
being
you're right.
marginalized
Yeah.
because they're being kept under a certain amount of money, which
Mm-hmm.
keeps them from going further and keeps them in the situation they're
Exactly.
in. Is what
Thank
I've
you,
read
Billy.
about homelessness.
Yeah, and then also
About
too, like
welfare.
I drive by, I live kind of by White Center, and I drive by what used to be sort of these projects and stuff over there, and to me, I mean, the people who stay in that system, I mean, like you said, they sort of are marginalized. Not only that, but it almost feels like they're locked in this reservation in a way, if you will, right? Like
I see.
it just seems like it gets harder and harder to get out. I guess is what I'm saying. Like
I
the more
see.
you dig in, you really dig your hooks into like living in that sort of thing. It's obviously not an ideal situation, and,
Right.
and the more you do it, and the more you become accustomed to it, and the more you become kind of comfortable with it, the less you are able to sort of get yourself out. Because there's people out there who, might want to go. There's not enough jobs that pay enough money for people to get off of that sometimes.
Right.
Because they say, well, if I get a job, then I'm just going to have, then I'm going to lose these benefits. And sometimes the benefits outweigh the job because as I think Paul was saying, that the minimum wage isn't going up, right? So
Right.
I mean, you get trapped
well,
in
I mean,
these.
really, like, I don't want to get too political here because I know you guys like to keep it light. Is that I mean, my opinion, my very broad, without any sort of references, is just that right now corporations may take more money in than they've ever had before. They pay less taxes percentage-wise than they ever have before. And in the Great Depression, one of the things that got us out of it was the New Deal. And what the New Deal was it was an increase in taxes on some of the wealthy. And then you take that money and you put it towards infrastructure, like roads, like helping out the less fortunate. And then what you do is, through that, you offer people jobs.
Right. So you're getting at a jobs
people. You
program.
take people out of welfare by giving them jobs, and then you give them jobs helping out the infrastructure of the United States, roads, bridges, building underdeveloped communities.
Yeah,
Right.
which
And
also,
I don't understand why that's not even a possibility, considering
Oh,
we
Republicans
got
in
us out of one of the
Congress.
worst
That's
depressions
easy.
we've ever had. You know.
yeah, well, that's because the gap between rich and poor hasn't been this wide since the 20s. And because, there's just more money in politics than there's ever been before, because there's the 24, I don't know, whatever it's called.
The lobbyists?
The constant election cycle.
Oh, the 24-hour news
like
coverage
the
of
second,
elections.
Well, the
and
second
blah, blah,
you
blah.
get into office, you have to start raising money to be
Right.
reelected.
Right.
So all of that money becomes so much more important than actually being,
Right.
taking care of your constituents.
Right. Yeah, that's why they keep offering campaign finance reforms and all of this shit. And
Nobody
then they-
wants that in politics.
Nobody
Nobody wants that. Nobody
No.
wants to get rid of lobbyists. And lobbyists really are, the biggest part of the problem. The fact that corporations can hire people to buy votes is absurd. The fact that politicians go into office, worth $100,000 and come out worth $3-4 million is an absurd thing.
Well, let's talk about a little bit more about how this whole homelessness affects me, though. As I'm standing on the street, I'm talking with my good buddy Anthony. What do? They interrupt us.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
We could start a campaign against the rudeness of homelessness.
Yeah, they got to have manners. They got to have
yeah, that's
manners.
Sure.
Well,
That's
go
gonna solve
talk
the
to
problem.
somebody
Sure.
standing by themselves. I'm clearly in the middle of a conversation.
We had a dude
You're gonna
yell
come up,
at
you're
us.
not gonna
I mean,
enrich my
full-
life. You're going to ask me for $1, which I don't fucking have.
So let me
Someone
ask-
should start a nonprofit, Manners for Homeless.
So Billy, would you rather them just wait till you and Anthony are finished with your conversation, and then
Yeah.
ask you guys?
Yes, because then they have to work. They have to stand there and listen to how charming I am until I fucking take a breath, and then I'll tell them, like, no, I don't have $1.
Hey,
but you
Give
need
them a
to keep me
pencil and a
pointed on
paper and have them
wonderful
write it
conversation.
down.
You know what you should have them do? You should just be like, you should like throw in like buzzwords in your conversation. Like you guys could talk about like fixing a sink, and then when you see like a homeless guy at the corner of your eye, you could just be like, damn, I would, but I'm broke as fuck right now. And then he'll turn around and be like, oh, this motherfucker ain't got no money, and then just walk away.
But I'm like, we are talking. We are having a conversation.
Yeah, but desperate people don't care about that. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're desperate, you're going
Right
to
on their
interrupt that shit.
Desperate and
Right,
crazy.
right.
Hey,
people
Anthony, can I borrow $1?
Now I got to read.
wearing headphones, man.
Oh, sorry. Oh, actually, no, I'm not. I was trying to prove a point. But yeah, I see what you're saying, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like when anyone's rude. Yeah, I mean, maybe, okay, I was getting into this. This dude yelled at us. He came into our little weed circle and just like, he didn't start off yelling, but Hennigan, he, how he is, grumpy ass dude, and he told the dude no. And then the dude was like, I will have my weed, he started talking about the U.S. empire the U.S. empire needs to give me weed and yada yada, and it started yelling and you motherfuckers, blah blah blah, kicked the newsstand and all that stuff, and
Shit.
I mean, people are
Okay.
getting desperate.
Should have brought him in here.
That's just
People getting
crazy.
desperate.
The Angry Homeless Man
Yeah.
podcast.
That's just fucking crazy.
People are getting desperate, man. I mean, fuck, if you were desperate, would you have manners? I don't know.
I think weed was the least of that guy's problem.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Well, and that guy I'm talking about, I've seen him multiple times. He seems to have some type of serious mental disorder. Maybe just the weed or whatever is
At the very
placates
least,
it.
He has really bad glaucoma.
Yeah.
yeah.
Stopping him from having a job. He's like, I got a job interview. I need weed. I need to be able to see.
I've got an MBA to get in college.
I don't have time to be polite, you fuckers.
I have a daughter back home that needs to be raised. Let me hear your weed. All right, so that was
Yeah,
funny.
see if that guy could have just yelled all that, we'd be like, here you go.
Travis,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
been sitting here and
That was
saying
my only
nothing.
thing. Just let them be more polite. And less rude.
I think we should start a campaign for that. I think that's a worthwhile cause.
Manners for the
Manners for the
destitute.
homeless. Yeah,
I think if one homeless person listens to this podcast
Can we-
and spreads the word,
it'll go viral.
you've done your.
If they're listening to
If
this
one-
podcast,
yeah.
they must be doing okay, really. I mean,
Yeah.
We're broadcasting it on AM transistor radios. So.
Can the tagline be, you're homeless, not mannerless?
That's right.
Oh god.
yeah, man, I've been poor as fuck, man. I've lived punk as fuck too, but that doesn't mean you don't say thank you if someone helps you out or
Just
whatever.
look at him and be like, did your drug dealer teach you any manners, fuckface?
Sure.
You're homeless, not mannerless, and the next line is, no, I don't have a cigarette.
But like at the same time, I personally, I'm almost never rude to anyone on the streets. I've been there, so I know what it's like. And at the same time, I don't like adding a pile of shit to a already existing pile of shit. They already suffer enough.
Yeah.
I don't need to, pile onto that with, being a dick or, yo, I got mines, get yours. That type of attitude. I hate that shit.
I don't know. Well, let me throw out a hypothetical because it happened with me.
Okay.
But I was sitting in a coffee shop. I was writing, and a homeless guy came in. He, started snapping, and the guy, the barista came up. He's like, "Hey, you have to leave," and the homeless guy just was not going to leave. He was drinking drugs. Guy was like, "You have to leave." The homeless guy stood up, got threatening. Me and 2 other people just swooped in and stood in front of this guy and basically, pushed him until he got out.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Didn't touch him, but
That's a good way to deal with
I
that.
didn't feel good about any of it at the point. I was like, well, I fucked up this guy's day, but I didn't want him, attacking an innocent dude.
Well, you had right, and that was the choices. You could you either get involved for the greater benefit of everyone else, and people's safety, or you just let this guy go off and ruin, everyone's.
So what I'm saying is where do you draw the line, Anthony?
Rudeness. If you put your hands on me, or if you just start talking disrespectfully, I just lose my patience.
I remember once, I lost all respect for homeless people after I saw this. There was a pack of them.
All homeless people.
All
homeless people.
Ever.
Oh, I'm sorry. These 5 fucked it up for you guys.
Joe Pesci in that Harvard movie.
There was
Fisher
these
King.
5. There was these 5 or so homeless people playing frisbee, in the freeway turnoff area.
Oh, gee.
Yeah,
and-
fuck them for having fun.
They should not be having fun. They should be trying to get a job. And these people weren't mentally handicapped homeless. They were like
talking
the
about
assholes.
hippies?
They were just like the assholes. They were like, "Hey, I need food from a dog," or they were just
Travis,
those assholes.
Are you claiming that you can tell by looking
Yes.
at the homeless that they're not mentally?
Yes, I can. if they can throw and catch a
Listen,
frisbee,
it looks to me like
accurately-
Anyone
Travis.
who throws a frisbee, no.
accurately.
Yeah, Travis. He's done his time with a hacky sack. I can tell. He knows these people.
I played hacky sack in high school.
See, he knows these people. He knows who they
I lived
are.
in Spokane.
Frisbee and hacky sackers.
You guys know
Until
that
that inside of his
physically
foot
doing
injury, he
anything
could have gone
physical to a
pro.
homeless person is a hate crime in Seattle. That's a true fact.
What happened?
if
Say that
you-
again.
If you physically do anything to a homeless person, unless you have full proof, it's a hate crime. It counts as a hate
I
crime
should probably
in
stop.
Seattle.
That should not be a hate crime.
Well, it should, because most attacks are against people with mental disorders.
That and
Well,
I've,
we're
I've
saying
known-
all homeless people have mental disorders.
no, not
No,
all,
but
I've
enough
seen
that they made that law.
I've known people that they go out of their way to fuck with homeless people because what are they gonna do? Where are they
Yeah,
gonna go to the
exactly.
cops? A bunch of dicks doing that.
I only film bum fights twice a week. All right, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
I can't
on
even
that.
watch that.
They
shit,
signed a
man.
contract.
That's not even.
Yeah,
like,
they signed away.
All proceeds go to
long as
St.
they
Mary's
scribble
House
their
for the homeless.
they scribble their name on the X.
Yeah, I mean it looks like a 5th grader wrote it, but it's whatever.
Yeah, man. I don't like I
do not co-sign that shit at all, man. I can't. I mean, that's some. That's some.
Wait,
Yeah,
the
you
bum
should-
fights?
I don't do that.
What
no.
don't you
I've
co-sign?
never seen bum
What
fights.
don't you do advanced calculus for?
It's a good
now
DVD, guys.
bum
Pretty
thumb
good.
wrestling. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's
That's
Wrestling?
yeah. It's or bum chess. I love watching bum chess. Those guys are pretty good. You'd
Yeah.
be
I paid
surprised.
some homeless people to wish Tanner good luck last night.
Oh yeah,
$5
What?
to encourage him to make the right choice.
sure.
And I feel like they were on board.
What are we talking about?
He said that there was a homeless guy or whatever that wished Tanner Hodgson, local comedian that our listeners may not know of. He got wished good luck by a homeless guy.
He was okay.
What's wrong with
$5.
Tanner?
Is
Like,
there anything wrong? That's like bum fighting.
is he okay?
What, people wishing Tanner good
He was
luck?
given good luck.
Yeah, because
Homeless
apparently not all homeless people are assholes. I don't,
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like good luck on stage or something?
Yeah, good.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay.
I
Well,
hope
yeah.
you make the right choices.
Yeah.
You know,
Tell the right jokes, man. Go
I had chances to make my own right choices, and I just
fucked
made
them
some
up.
mistakes.
And I'm a fucking bum.
Shouldn't have opened at the Apollo before I was ready. Now I'm homeless. Good luck, young comedian.
Well, guys,
Oh.
I gotta go. I just wanted to call in, say hello, and yell for a little bit. Thank you for
Hey,
allowing.
thanks,
for calling,
Billy.
man.
Billy Anderson, everybody.
Billy!
He does a comedy on trial at Jai Tai.
I'll be up there tonight.
We should do.
That's right.
We should do a weekly call-in thing where he just complains about something, and we can call it "What's Got Billy's Goat."
Nah.
Ah, nice.
That's a good idea. It's a good suggestion. Nice. All right.
Today it was rude homeless people.
Yeah.
That rude homeless people
I'm
got
sure-
Billy's goat.
I'm sure Billy feels a lot better now.
That his name is a pun. Yeah.
So I found some numbers to call. I found some Tea Party numbers. Oh yeah, the Tea Party, infamous, known for their misspelling, of course, and also their sort of pseudo racist kind of,
Oh, they're not racist.
They've
Even
got a
in
black
this-
guy.
Yeah, they got an Uncle Tom.
Yeah, they've got plenty of black friends.
You might imagine what they paid him just to say he was a Tea Party member.
Alan West, that guy.
Yeah, man, everyone's got to have their Uncle Ruckus.
Oh yeah.
It's Uncle
Yeah.
Roku.
So I found some numbers to call these guys, and let's see if they answer. Usual prank calling. So one of us will go into this call, and if you're good at prank calls, you know that you don't start off, like, fuck you. You work them into a sort of a false sense of security. Then you just slowly dismantle their bullshit
It's not the 80s
piece by
anymore.
piece. It's like live trolling, basically. Hopefully they have an answering machine, just in case.
Wow.
I know,
They're
right?
screening the
Exciting.
Fuck out of these calls.
Exciting.
I hope.
This
Ooh.
is Tea Party Patriot.
Nice.
Please leave a
Patriots.
message, and someone will get back to you as quickly as possible. We try and answer all support
wants to
calls
leave a
within
message?
48
Go for
hours.
it. Do it.
Do
If
it.
you'd like, please email us at websupport@teapartypatriots.org.
Patriots.
That's websupport@teapartypatriots.org. Thank you.
Hello, I'm a big fan of the Tea Party. I really appreciate you guys taking a hardline stand on taxes, and also I think that Obama is nothing more than a Kenyan fascist socialist fag, and I really don't understand how he became leader of this country in the first place. I think he's a Manchurian candidate programmed by madrasas in Kenya, and he was sent to this country to basically overtake the government and give black people free cheese, and I just don't feel that that's very acceptable. Did it cut off before I was
No,
done?
no, it didn't. You got it in.
And the black helicopters should be coming in
Any minute. man.
Sarah Palin's gonna come in through the window.
just hug
Don't you
it.
know now? Oh,
Dude, she's gonna look. She's
No,
gonna look
she'll-
at us, and she'll know who made that fucking call.
oh yeah.
She'll come in and
The
ask. you to
guys
be a
aren't being
running
real
mate.
funny.
She's gonna just cancel both of us out and be like, "Yep, the blackest one here. You're coming with us, motherfucker."
Hey, she can't be mad. She banged a black basketball player a long time ago, Glenn Rice. Wait, what? Yeah. Sarah Palin banged Glenn Rice a long time ago.
That is
you
awesome.
didn't know that?
I like that. I like
Yeah.
her so much more now.
Yeah.
I think that is so.
Conservative white ladies love black dicks.
Okay, I'm
You
gonna be
no one ever addresses that. I've read articles where like married couples, all right, old white married couples, the wife is allowed to find a young black dude to have sex.
Is that like an Alaska thing? Like,
No,
That's
it's
that's just
No, that's
it happens in
penthouse letters.
penthouse letters and I was reading
was
this in
published.
GQ magazine. There's a group of black dudes that basically put themselves out there like that.
How do you
for,
get that gig? I guess.
know, right?
I don't know, right? I've been propositioned, man.
You
Like
need-
I've had like
Take the offer.
fuck that, man. That is some awkward
Dude,
shit.
take the offer, and the next time a homeless guy asks you for money, you'll be able to give him $1.
That's true, man. This was $1 earned with my
Throw
penis.
that
Earn-
dick
Here
around,
you go.
son.
Hell yeah, man. Get in there.
Do you guys want to try one more number?
Sure, yeah. Who else wants to leave a message? Who wants to? You can do a voice, do whatever.
I don't even want to talk to these fucking people in real life.
Oh, that's the beauty of it, though. You get to mess with
Get
people.
him,
that
get him, Jason.
You got it, Jason.
Mike Lee.
Hey, Mike Lay. This is the Tea Party of Seattle. We really.
Hey, guys.
Hi, how you guys
Hi.
doing? Hi.
Hi, Seattle.
Hi, how you doing, man? Thanks a lot. And I just wanted to clarify. Where are you located by chance?
Well, I live in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh.
But what's your name, please?
My name is Tony Lazaro.
Hey, Tony.
Thank you. Hey. And how long?
What's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to call because me and my friends were talking about black people on welfare the other day, and I just really feel strongly about that. I feel like a lot of
Tony, Tony, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you email me, michaelpatrickleahy@gmail.com?
Sure.
patrickleahy@gmail.com?
Yeah,
I'm in the midst of something right now, but put it in like 2 paragraphs, and I will respond to whatever you're suggesting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike. Who's this guy? Who was this guy?
That was Tea Party guy.
Was that just a Tea Party guy?
Yeah, he's the lead organizer of them.
Holy shit.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I know, right? Fun. Everyone's heart started going up.
Well, I was thinking, like, I didn't know we were going to get an individual Tea Partyist. I thought we were just calling these Tea Party hotlines. So, I mean, with that, you know,
I was
we could be
trying
a
to-
Tea Party radio show. You know, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. You see, like, I was trying to lull him. Like, I was just trying to get him to keep
Dude, he was
going.
probably just jerking off. He's like, finally, someone's speaking to me.
As soon as I said,
Someone
like,
from
the black
Seattle.
people
Call
on
him back.
welfare thing,
Oh,
no.
shit.
Call him back.
You want to call him back?
You talk him.
Huh?
Talk to him.
Okay.
Christ. Yeah, ask him that. And
Yeah, he's not picking up.
You've reached the office of Mike Leahy. I'm not in now, but if you leave your name and number, I'll call
wants
you
to
back
leave a
as soon
message?
as I return. Thank you very much for calling.
You want to leave a message, Paul?
Hi, Mike. My name is Steve Thomas. I'm just calling to ask some questions about your stance on mixed race marriages.
You nailed it with that.
Well, I don't like him. What do you think? Come on.
What a prank.
He just shut it down. He fucking nailed it. He nailed that guy.
Oh, boy. I was surprised that Mike answered, though. I was really excited.
I was shocked. I was like, what are we doing?
dude, he
What's
seemed
happening?
very happy to hear from somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And then the
Hello,
second you said
Seattle.
black people.
It's then
Yeah,
immediately it
second
is,
was
well,
welfare.
you know, I have some other things to go do.
I've been instructed
yeah.
never to respond to the word
Yeah.
black people.
Yeah.
When he told you to write
Yeah.
that shit, he knew you weren't going to do it.
No,
He's like, this motherfucker don't know how to write.
I bet this guy gets prank called like daily.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the fun of it, though.
He probably they probably like trace the call. It's like, wait, we don't have a Tea Party chapter in Seattle. No, hang up. It's a prank, motherfucker.
There's only 3 guys, though. We know them.
We've got some other oh, yeah. Some guy, I think, found my phone.
Oh, yeah. Let's call.
We should call that guy.
Hey, yeah, hand me that right. Oh wait, you know your number, right? Yeah.
This one?
No, the other one. Yeah.
So we're going to do a little
So hold on
bonus prank call to...
So let me kind of like
Gotta
set
get
it
a
up a
number
little
to this
bit.
guy.
Okay.
Okay, so today I call Anthony to find out what time to meet for the podcast, and
Just write your number down and give it to the producer there. You know your number, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, just unhook it.
Right.
Yo, unhook it, and I'll type it in. Toss it over here. But I call. I'm calling.
This is such a smooth podcast today.
Oh.
No worries. Drop. Okay, so I call Anthony. Well, actually, I sent him a text to find out what time to meet for the podcast and where. And when I text, when I text the question, I got a response back saying, "Huh," and
Like, huh?
yeah, like what? And
Huh?
I was thinking to myself, like, what? Did Anthony forget? Is he drunk? What the fuck? So I type in like,
Is this mic on, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So I type in like, yeah, this is Anthony, and the person sends back, who is this? And I was like, isn't this Anthony? And the person's like, no, you got the wrong number. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Then I go on Facebook to make sure that I got Anthony's number right. And it turns out that, yeah, it's the right number. And then I Facebook Anthony, and Anthony Facebooks me back, where and when. And then I said, what's your number? And he sends me back a message saying that he lost his phone.
So basically, some maniac has his phone,
Some
but he's just
maniac-
using it as their phone.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm basically gonna call this guy and see if he answers the phone.
How long ago have you lost this phone?
It's been missing since Tuesday.
So this guy just picks up your phone, probably calls another phone with it and says, hey, what number am I calling from? And just makes it his phone. He just turns it into
yeah.
his phone. And you don't call and cancel it. You just say,
I
lost my phone.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
so you guys are just kindred spirits with this phone.
That shit was like, I was
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me? So I figured somebody lifted your phone. Mm-hmm. But all right, let's find out who this jerk off is.
Let's find out.
I'm
You are
fucking
trying
curious.
to call is not reachable. PPS 6180.
How did he respond to the text though? Because I wasn't giving text either.
No, dude, the texts are on the phone.
Yeah.
Did I just look for him?
Yeah.
Did you get the right phone number there, huh?
Yeah. Shoot.
Man, if only he would have answered. This would have been a much more exciting segment.
This guy, he must have canceled the phone himself. He's like, well, if Anthony's not going to do it, I'll do it.
Nah. I mean, it's like a paid minutes phone too. It wasn't like an actual.
He used
plan.
them all up. He
So
probably used them all up, and then
Look at this, though. Yeah, he is texting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking retarded, man. How did he? I guess he fucking
That's
changed the phone over to him. Good catch.
Good throw.
Well, fucking excitement, guys. So exciting. All right, so another segment, the fucking accidental racist song,
Love
which of
that
course
song.
is by Brad Paisley. I wanna play the song again. I think we did it on a previous episode, but I just can't get enough of how beautifully.
it's one of the most well-written songs of all time.
I mean, it's like the new Ebony and Ivory, basically.
Yeah.
it's really good.
If Ebony and Ivory like Confederate flags and gold chains or something, apparently.
I just like the honesty of it, just speaking whatever comes to your mind and just throwing it out there and making it a song.
Yeah,
Feels good, man.
yeah. I can't get enough of Brad Paisley. All right,
One of the very few people who cannot get enough.
I
But
can't.
Here's the song.
I don't
Wow.
think that's it, man. Sounds different than last time.
Yeah, is that?
They loaded up some like promo. So
Oh.
here's the real song.
Some session fucking guitars thrown on the top of this nonsense.
Such a slow song too. That's the shitty part. It's a lot of build up.
It feels like an hour when you listen to it.
Yeah.
Like it never ends.
It was written for people at the end of that Klan rally, when they're all sitting around having beers.
Starbucks.
You understand. With you so far.
When I put on that t-shirt, the only thing I meant to say
Yeah.
What's on the shirt?
is I'm a Skinner fan.
KKK.
The red flag on my chest somehow is like the elephant in the corner of the South. And I just walked him right in the room.
Where was the elephant before him, Ron?
Just a proud rebel son with an old can of worms. Looking like I got a lot to learn.
About what?
From my point of view, I'm just a white man coming to you from the Southland, trying to understand.
A lot of us white people can really relate to this, actually.
I'm proud of where
Did you leave? Oh, look, you're leaving us.
we've done, and it ain't like you and me can rewrite history. Our generation didn't start this nation. We're still picking up the pieces, walking on eggshells fighting over yesterday.
I want my money, bitch. Show me your titties, son.
When I say the N-word, it's only with my friends.
Death to all my haters.
Reconstruction. Fix the buildings, dried some tears.
Okay! What?
150 years.
What?
Myself in your shoes. And that's a good place to be.
You can tell this is an accidental racist song because he's taking up all the fucking real estate on this song. He don't even have no one singing a hook for him or anything like that. What's the matter?
We're just building up to the LL Cool J part. That's the
really?
fuck. Yeah, that's the
His 30-second segment.
yeah, that's the money shot of this song basically.
Yo, bitch, we about to fuck later on. Nah, I mean.
Is it the real LL Cool J or like EL Cool J?
It's the real.
Is it
one,
like
man.
some guy that got swap meet?
No, it's the NCIS or the NCIS LL.
You can play the drinking game every time he does an interview because he's always licking his lips every 5 fucking seconds.
This song is so fucking long.
It goes on
man.
forever. It never. And it's just rambling.
It's
like,
accidentally long, apparently too, man. Fuck.
It's just rambling words out that just don't even go together.
LL came late to the studio. So.
There it is.
What the world is really like when you're living in the hood. Just because my pants are sagging doesn't mean I'm up to no good. You should try to get to know me. I really wish you would. Now my chains are gold, but I'm still misunderstood. I wasn't there when Sherman's march turned the South into firewood. I want you to get paid, but be a slave, I never could. Feel like a newfangled Django dodging invisible white hoods. So when I see that white cowboy hat, I'm thinking it's not all good. I guess we're both guilty of judging the cover, not the book. I'd love to buy you a beer, conversate and clear the air. But I see that red flag and I think you wish I wasn't here.
Why is LL Cool J looking for friends at this point? I mean,
well, there's a couple good more lines.
Yeah,
that
there's
LL
like a
drops.
couple. It's the iron chain, gold chain. Oh, cause no, it's getting up to that
Yeah,
point.
get on there. It's really good.
Yeah. I smell a Grammy.
If you don't judge my gold chain, I'll forget the iron chain.
Are you fucking kidding me? that's the fucking message?
That's the message,
oh,
man.
Hell no.
That's the message.
Oh my God.
LL
fucking wrote that for him.
I'm just glad that LL Cool J speaks for me. And,
Dude, I think a 12-year-old wrote it.
I'm glad that LL Cool J speaks for Travis. I'm glad that LL Cool J speaks for Martin Luther King.
Well, listen,
and,
I feel like he let a lot of us off the hook. So I mean,
wow, that is.
Listen, you guys.
I know, so
listen, I'm gonna look the other way with your jewelry.
Yeah.
All right, and then you guys, let's just forget
slavery.
about the slavery.
That was some lyrical Uncle tomfoolery shit right there, man. That was
Nail on the
that's
head.
what the fuck that was.
Man,
listen.
that was like the Clarence Thomas of rap,
Your
man.
baggy pants and your gold chains. I
on
can look
long
past
enough.
this stuff if you can look past some things I've done in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I
think
mean,
that-
we already gave you Django Unchained. What more do you want?
Okay, so LL got a check for this.
He must have got a.
Yeah, he
I
must
would
have
hope
got
it's a big
something.
check.
You
I
know what
hope
I'm
it's
saying? He
big.
better
Yeah.
make this worth his while, man. Put that shit towards the Boys and Girls Club or something.
Yeah, fuck.
That was some hilarious shit right there. That's the first time I've actually heard that song. and-
Really?
No, I mean I've heard about it, but
It's actually the worst song I've heard in my entire life. Like, I
crossover
mean,
hit.
not just the fact that it's just so absurd in so many ways. It's just the long droning on of just like it's like the weirdest thoughts just came out of this guy's head, and then later they just put some guitar on it.
Right.
You know, over
I
the
know.
top.
but
He's
it's
clearly
so,
sound like a song.
It's so self-serious.
Yeah.
Like
He-
this
he
guy
clearly,
really thinks
like,
he's
in the
making
song-
a racial breakthrough.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's just so deep about it too. He's like, let's
Yeah.
get to the bottom of this, guys.
I just
you know?
want to be the fly in the room, like the fish tank, the think tank, when they were like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I don't
Talk
think-
about your day, bro.
I don't think
Yeah.
enough black people like country music. So how do we get them to come on our side and forget the slavery and all that. That movie Django Unchained really got these people in an uproar.
And those blacks like when you keep it real. Okay, so let's keep it real by let's just start. What'd you do today? I went to Starbucks. Well, let's start with that.
And now we need to get a spokesperson for all black people. Who is that?
LL Cool J.
You want to know what? And it only makes sense that LL Cool J will be in this because I'm sure they asked like 100 brothers.
I know.
They said no.
They asked Al Sharpton, fucking Jesse Jackson, Jesse Jackson Jr., Jesse Jackson III, Jessica Jackson.
All terrible rappers.
All the people that were in the Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah, Waka Flocka Flame, Gucci Mane.
Jesus Christ. Like
Busta Rhymes.
Lil Bow Wow.
Like you could tell they didn't even send an e-blast to the black community. They had a
No.
list. And they're like, we're going to stop right here. The first black person that says yes. And I'm sure LL was like 103 somewhere in there. You know what I'm saying? Because you missed the Chris Rocks, the Tony Rocks, the Dave Chappelle's. You missed all those motherfuckers.
Man.
And LL said yes because white people are watching him on NCIS Los Angeles. So I guess it makes sense.
He's doing the OJ thing where you get to that point of success where it's like,
It's all good now. Everything's
it's all
fine.
good. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Nothing to worry about out there. Feeling good.
I wonder if LL, while he was
OJ was fine afterwards.
Exactly.
I
Reached
wonder
that level of success. Never had anything to be angry about ever again.
I wonder if LL
And
was
then again after he got off from murder. And then was like, man, you know what? I just need my sports memorabilia back.
You think LL was in blackface in the studio when he was doing this?
No, man. He just had a poster of Clarence Thomas on the wall and was like,
"Oh, this is
that's right." You know, oddly enough, rap is very Republican. That's what a lot of people forget. Rappers are always talking about, fuck the government, man, fuck the police. Rappers love money. I mean, they love being capitalists. Rappers don't think women should be doing shit aside from fucking them and, giving them the pussy. They think that guns are great. I mean, rap is very Republican. So maybe LL Cool J is just like, taking the veil away from rap a little.
Do they ever suck each other's dicks in the bathroom?
Probably.
Because that's a Republican
That's
trait.
yeah.
That's,
a lot of gay rappers out there.
Well, shit. Well, I guess they are pretty much
Gangsta
on the same
fag,
thing.
hit it! Oh,
I wish I had it.
No, it's all good.
I was
Yeah, that
wondering
song,
if LL Cool J was going to top that shark rap he did. Deep Blue Sea.
There's somewhere in there
man.
too
Is
where he says R.I.P. Robert E. Lee.
Oh, yeah.
And we got hung up on the gold chains, iron chains thing, but he
just
wasn't done. He still went.
Oh yeah, way to take a shot back at the general. Oh, he gives a fuck.
Yeah.
That's the worst false equivalence ever, though.
Yeah, it was.
That's just the worst.
Way to bring in
Death
Sherman's
to Robert
March,
E.
though.
Lee, bitches.
It's like making a song like "Accidental Holocaust Denier," and then you I'll forget Space Camp if you forget the concentration camp.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What kind of a fucking equivalency is that? Are you kidding me?
What's he doing too? Like he's going into Starbucks with this fucking flag.
Yeah. Who
shirt
goes into
on
a Starbucks with a Confederate
with this
flag
Confederate
shirt?
flag shirt and just say, whoa, listen, I just like Skinner, you guys. Like, why are you guys getting all up on me here? I'm just trying to go.
want my caramel macchiato.
I just want a decaf white mocha latte. I
What,
just
just
don't
because
know.
this flag was only started to be using in 1967?
I don't see what your
Yeah.
guys' problem is. I just want a cup of coffee and I want to praise some Skinner.
Look, man, this swastika. Look, I'm just a fan of the Buddhist.
I love parallel lines.
Idea of peace and love, man.
And
it has
I'm
nothing to do with Germans,
I love the way lines intersect and stuff. I'm into
Yeah.
geometry. I'm into a bunch of different stuff. You don't have to get all weird about it.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with stars? Everybody likes stars.
Jeez.
Dude, I know I've got this rainbow with a circle crossed on it, but
With a Ghostbuster
it's
circle
because
across.
I just don't like the spectrum of colors like that. It has nothing to do with gay people. It's just I don't like different colors. That's all. That's the worst false equivalency in history.
It's just the worst song. No matter, obviously the contents of it are absolutely absurd in every way, but even the fact that you can, as a country musician, just fucking ramble on drivel. You don't have to rhyme. You don't have to make a song sound good.
Right.
And just throw some session guitar on it at the end. It's disgusting.
What happened to country music? Didn't it used to be like
Johnny Cash,
outlaws
and you got
and,
some badasses back there.
Some real. They were punk rock before punk, right?
Country music is starting to get a little too poppy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Taylor Swift, right? Isn't she like a crossover?
Remember Achy Breaky Heart?
I know.
Country's been pop forever.
Accidental Achy Breaky
Yeah.
Heart. I didn't mean to break your heart. Whoops.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It sounded kind of corny back then, but it was actually kind of good when you really think about it compared to now.
It's like white people's electric slide.
Yeah.
That's what it was, you know. Everything, you know, that's funny. Since the electric slide, all these other different dances have just been white versions of that dance. Like Macarena, the fucking, the hokey pokey. I don't know if that was
line
before.
dancing.
All the line dancing.
Yeah.
That's fucking
The funny thing
hilarious.
is, I think that southern, there's a lot of black culture in the sort of southern redneck. I mean, just like
Oh,
you
yeah.
said, that electric slide. I mean, that is line dancing. Essentially, came out of that.
It just reminds me of a bit, man, that I do, man. It's, you know, rednecks are just white niggas, you know, at this point, you know. They're
Yep.
just white niggas.
They ate they ate the same food. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
the southern black stuff that came out of the South. I mean, the same barbecue stuff that, you know, they're all eating the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. They have the same lives down there.
And niggas are just black rednecks. Quotes on niggas, you know. Karl Malone, great example of that. He's a black neck. You know Karl Malone, right?
I know Karl Malone.
Yeah, he's a truck driving lumberjack. You know, then
We're not talking about the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, that's
okay.
yeah, Karl Malone. Yeah,
I
he's a-
guess I don't know that much about him.
Yeah, he's a black neck. He's like a Clarence Thomas.
Does he drive like a big old pickup and
Yeah,
the whole thing?
He
All right.
He does diesel truck driving.
Okay.
Yeah, the 18-wheelers. Yeah.
So, wait, he
and he talks country. You know, he talks like a bus.
What's
You
he-
know.
What does he race them or something? What's he's a fucking millionaire, right? I mean, what do you mean he drives trucks?
I guess he has a trucking company or something. I don't know if he drives them himself now, but he has like a trucking company.
Well, I guess the mailman
man.
still delivers.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, watch out.
That was dumb.
Watch out.
Zing.
Man, if you're one of those guys who wanted the Sonics to come back this week, they just really rubbed salt on that wound with saying, "Well, we were going to get Phil Jackson, by the way." I mean, that reminded,
Oh, God.
you know what I mean?
Wow.
That reminded me of.
That's
of
like when a
something you'd
girl
say when
turns
you're-
you down
Yeah.
for sex, and oh, by the way, I'm also double jointed.
Exactly. Exactly. What kind of fucking after the fact bullshit was that? It's like, we were going to get Phil Jackson. Yeah, it's the same. You
Wow.
know, same shit.
Yeah.
Apparently, David Stern fucked Seattle over on that because he basically set up the vote for the owners to vote against Seattle having its own team. And then I don't know. I was reading something about that yesterday, and they're looking for an expansion team now. Maybe
Yeah,
I don't
well.
know. You know. But that Chris Hansen guy, he's spending money out of his pocket just to
Yeah,
get this
you
team.
gotta
Oh, he'll get it back.
You got to
though,
give it
but-
up to that guy, man. He's, they've been really working hard to get that team over here.
I for one am ready for more congested traffic and expensive.
it kind of
parking.
reminds me of Paul Allen with when he brought the stadium in for the Seahawks and stuff too. You know, this guy's he's doing a lot of hard work, but he's got he's not without motivation. And then he'll probably end up selling it to some other huckster 10 years down the road or 5 years
Yeah.
down the road. But anyway, who knows?
It was just funny though watching Seattle get crazy over trying to get the Sacramento Kings. They were basically going to do to the Sacramento what Oklahoma did
Yeah,
to
right.
Seattle. So people were so in a hurry to have fucking sports,
Yeah, and they were just so like, how could you do that to a city? How could
Yeah.
you dismantle a city this way? And then, by the way, fuck you, Sacramento. We'll go ahead and take
Exactly.
them. But
It's not like Sacramento has a lot to live for anyway. I mean,
yeah, no, it's a shithole.
Yeah, you're gonna take away their basketball team too.
Apparently they want them now. Now they're saying no, don't take our basketball team. So
Yeah, you don't know what you got until it's gone, man. People, that's a lot of money that comes through there. If you take away their sports team, I mean, think of how shitty
Sacramento is.
It
Yeah, you don't
is,
even have
yeah,
anywhere to.
think of-
You don't have
yeah.
a baseball team or any. Well, I mean, there's a bunch of shit in that area. I'm sure. I mean,
that's a state capital, though, right?
yeah,
Sacramento.
yeah. I've been there a few times. It's not a great place. But
State capitals of any
They're
state
not usually
are
great.
never
Except Texas.
Austin's a great town.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I will back that.
Oh, like Jefferson City, Missouri, fucking awful. Oh, the play. I bombed worse than anywhere else in fucking Jefferson City, Missouri, state capital.
How long have you been here from? You lived in Missouri, like in Kansas City area, is that right? Is that near Kansas City? How long have you been in Seattle? Or out of there and into Washington State?
I've been in Washington for almost 3 years. In
Straight out of there, from there to here?
Yeah.
And you lived in Tacoma sort of before that as well?
Yeah. I stayed in Tacoma for about a year and a half, and then I moved to Seattle, and I've been in Seattle for almost 2 years now.
Nice. I've been to Kansas City, Missouri, and I was there, and I went to like April or May. It was one of the most depressing places I'd ever been.
Oh yeah, man!
Next to Buffalo, New York, those two places are.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah. Kansas City is it's a fucking, what you deal with in Kansas City is you deal with the religious fundamentalists.
Yeah.
You deal with that kind of shit. Good old boys, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Great barbecue though if you're into barbecue.
Yeah, they sure do.
You like fountains because Kansas City's the city of fountains, because that's how excited people are to live in Kansas City.
It's a shithole. I remember I was staying there. I was working at the time, and there was a casino there. They have a bunch of casinos on rivers and shit there.
Oh yeah, Harrah's and
yeah. One of them was
Argosy.
something like the Casino of the Americas or some weird shit like that. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, I went in there and they had like a sky painted on the ceiling, which is common in a casino. They do that shit in Vegas too, but. The rest of Kansas City was so fucking depressing that I moved over there. I moved my hotel over to that casino just because it was. I could fake myself out that it wasn't like gray and shitty and dark because it had like a fake sky paint on it. And I'm from Seattle. Like it's that fucked up there. It's like it was just so gray and flat and.
Yeah, people in
miserable.
Seattle think they're depressed, man.
It's much
more. Oh god, it's. I mean, the joke
misery,
is misery.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, it was seriously like I'm not super prone to depression, but man, I was ready to fucking turn in my cards, man. It was dark.
Yeah,
there was some dark times I went
and
through.
what season were you in?
It was like around Easter. I remember because I was there over Easter. So what was that?
It was probably still like
March,
cold
May.
as shit.
It was flat. And, well, what I noticed is it looked like there was a bunch of like farmland or something where there was like weeds or like it looked like wheat or something like that. Then it had flooded, and then the water went down, so it was just gray. Like so all the like plants were dead and gray, and so the whole place was just flat and gray. That was it.
It's like The Road.
Yeah. I still
just,
haven't seen that movie yet, but I need to check that out. I've heard good things.
Yeah, it was.
Is it like bad or is it just depressing?
It's bad.
I don't know. I read the book, and man, I love the book. I think it was one of the best books I've ever read. I would never tell anyone to read it. Like you put that down, you're just like, oh yeah, that's how everything's gonna end.
Yikes. I've heard like it's cannibalism and stuff,
yeah.
all that,
No,
all that good shit.
That's no big deal to me. I'm into that.
You're into cannibalism?
Sure, yeah. It doesn't faze me a bit. I'll read all about it.
Yeah.
All right, enjoy.
I'm into female cannibalism. I only eat women.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
You're gonna need a black guy with a perm to bust down your door someday.
Yeah. He's like, oh, never mind.
He was so nice. We barbecued with him.
Yeah.
I know.
Had me on his
salsa.
podcast.
We listen to salsa. I just like the fact that this brother with a perm listens to salsa and also eats ribs.
Dude, I mean, he's just there. He's around to party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's down to hang out and party and do whatever.
There's ribs and beer. You play whatever you want. Like you can play accidental racist, and if the ribs are good.
Yeah.
I think I heard that something about they were trying to pull up his criminal record, after this, because there was some sort of meme on the internet about various politicians, and where it said something like, I don't know, fucking hires a hooker, and now he's a congressman, and this guy, saves a woman. Now you're all up his ass because he had a criminal record or something. But
yeah,
I don't know what his criminal record was. Anybody ever see what his problem was?
I don't even care.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine. I mean, who cares? It's just funny, it's interesting that this guy obviously has he saves these chicks. He's living in a shithole. I mean, that doesn't look like the best neighborhood, right? He saves these girls, and they're like, does he have a criminal record? This
and donates the money to
this
the
guy's
girls.
been to jail.
Well, he used to beat his wife. Pretty
I don't think you're an American unless you've been to jail.
The guy that beat his wife
That's
was
my
the
crazy view.
capturer, right? The guy that captured the chicks. He wasn't the neighbor, was
The
it?
Charles Ramsey beat his wife pretty bad. That was why it was such a thing in the news, because it was like a domestic violence, and he saved them from domestic violence.
Well, that was, listen.
So there you go.
Wait,
Corruption people's different than rape slavery.
He was arrested for Charles Ramsey was arrested for beating his
Domestic
wife.
abuse, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's ironic.
Maybe saving those girls then was kind of a redemption for
I
him.
feel like it was. I forgive him. Listen.
Yeah, why isn't every ordinary person a spotless hero?
Right. If you forgive my beatings,
accidental domestic violence.
I'll forget your
I'll
capturing
beat my
of girls. Yeah.
I went to Starbucks with my wife.
Well, you can forget my black guys. I can forget your chained up white girls.
Well, he didn't go to Starbucks. He actually went to McDonald's. So.
I went to McDonald's. My wife had a black eye.
Came home and rescued me 3 girls from a dungeon. Guy.
I'm an accidental domestic violence person. I'm so great at this song.
That was a hit, dude.
That's, we nailed it. We should record this.
Oh,
we are.
Oh, shit. Fuck. This is going to hit the top 10. Listen.
You notice how peaceful this podcast has been? It's because Halim is not on this episode.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I love Halim. Shout out to Halim, whoever, if he's listening. Also, shout out to Jen Edwards, a friend of mine out in the Tacoma area. She's a comedy nerd like the rest of us are, and she's cool. So if she's listening, shout out to her. Also, if anyone wants to call in, the number, of course, is 206-973-3991. I'm surprised no one really tries to fuck with us. Maybe they just know they have no chance or anything.
Probably.
Maybe they just realize that, we outnumber them and we're comedians, so I don't know.
All right, so here's a topic I'll throw out.
All right.
What do you think about people saying that they're a nerd on stage and then just going with something simple like talking about Star Wars or comic books?
That's not nerd. That's not as nerdy as it is just pop culture now.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars is not really a nerdy movie. It's really a story about a band of rebels against a giant empire. That's not as nerdy as, like, say, Battlestar Galactica, where you have, different storylines about different races of people going on. And, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I don't go up there and I'm like, hey, I'm a nerd. I feel awkward because, some of that shit is self-explanatory.
It just comes through.
Yeah.
You don't need a stage for that shit.
Yeah, I don't have to preface that.
You could just sit there by yourself.
You can tell I'm not a
just
thug.
Yeah.
I don't have a thug's disposition aside from just a grumpy ass, angry face sometimes maybe, but I don't have that disposition, so I don't feel the need to explain it. I know what you're saying though, Paul. Like, I hear people doing that, like, I'm a nerd, I'm awkward.
I can't
It's
get
like,
pussy.
I can't have sex. First of all, that's not, geeks can get some pussy,
Okay,
all right? I live in this city, all right? I see a lot of geeks with a lot of hot chicks, all right? Maybe it's because they're successful too, and that goes along with it. But
let's just go with that. Yeah.
Sure.
Because if you're broke and you're a geek and
in person, and that too, I mean, I've seen chicks here, they just love having like conversations about, I like philosophy and blah blah blah. They find that attractive in a dude who listens to that and has something to offer. So I don't know. I mean, nerds get pussy in this city. Sorry to be so honest about it, but that's. I don't know. If you're a nerd in Texas, maybe that's not the case. Maybe a bunch of those shit-kicking cowgirls.
I mean,
down
don't get
there.
me wrong. If you're a geek and that's the name you call them geeks. If you're successful, smart, then yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. You're gonna get laid.
Yeah, man, you got smart things to say. You've got money in your pocket.
And if you're not, and again, the social awkwardness of it. If you're not socially awkward, then yeah, you better get laid, you fucking fag. You know what I'm saying? If you're not getting laid, then there's a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? So.
Do you think that there's a difference between nerds and geeks? And, do you think
if there's not, we should start by defining a
Someone
line.
has to define it, too.
There's got to be a line.
I've always thought that the difference between a nerd and a geek is that a geek may have social skills, and a nerd, I think nerds may not have
I thought it was
social
the
skills.
opposite.
You think is it the opposite? Okay.
I don't know if anyone
See, I'm
will
not.
ever
I'm
really
even.
know.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure
This
on
is a
either.
mystery.
But I've always thought that there were distinctions, right? You know, like in the same way that like there are sci-fi nerds, and then there's
Because
Yeah, but at what point is that just you're interested in something?
yeah.
Okay. See, that's
Like no one says, "Oh, I'm a sports nerd." They're like, "Yeah, I love sports."
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like it's branched out into something where like it's just an easy identity to take on, rather than actually like, like using that as part of some larger experience you're trying to talk about.
I see what
Like
you're saying.
I like Star Wars, and I don't like Star Trek that much. I like comic books, but I'd never go up and be like, yeah. So these two things are. All
Well, you're
that-
you're a grown ass person too. You've had various life experiences and things to offer aside from sci-fi references. So that's the difference.
But as far as like nerds go, I mean, are we categorizing them as somebody with like of intelligence, of course, like general intelligence?
I find that a lot of intelligent people may not be nerds. They've just they're intelligent about other things aside from their nerdery.
So what would define a nerd then?
Obsessive over their interests, basically.
Okay.
They have a obsession into the things that they like.
So basically, if you have Asperger's, you might be a nerd.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of
Well, those kind of people that are sort of on that spectrum sort of are. I mean, that is kind of at least what I think of as a true nerd. No one, they're not trying to act like a nerd or trying to say, I like these nerdy, trendy, hip things. They're really sort of locked into whatever it is that they're into.
And see, I guess
also like. Can you really be a nerd like after college?
See, that's the other. See, that's what I meant when you have life experience. Like when you get out of school, man, you become so much more of a fuller person. In school you were a certain category, right? You're the junk nerd, yada yada. You get out of that though, you just become a person.
Yeah.
And that's. I mean,
if you're still letting who you were in high school define who you are now, like.
Right.
Does that make you a geek?
That makes you underdeveloped or something. That would be a weird thing.
And also sometimes I have a hard time separating nerds from hipsters, right?
Right. Yeah, because hipsters are sort of got this nerd look to them, right?
Hipsters are nerds for clothes.
Right.
Right. That's a great point. That's absolutely.
They're nerds for clothes, and they're nerds for really vintage music.
Right.
But they're just trying to but they're trying to use that to impress someone else.
Right.
Like, which actually I guess is what all nerds do. They're trying to use their specific knowledge of something to, like, I don't know, one up against or share with other nerds. I'm getting too vague at this
See,
point.
you know what? I'm glad we're even talking about this because this brings up a word that's been in my head, and it's a theory called intersectionality. Basically, multiple groups of people experience multiple forms of oppressions and labels, right? So, like, you can be black and you can face oppression for that, but you can also be a nerd and face oppression from black people for being a nerd. You could be gay and face oppression from whites and blacks and others for being gay, yada yada.
Is it just about oppression, or is it just about that different groups of people can experience the same challenges?
It's basically that, and also the oppression part too. Like you can face discrimination based on those things, but you can also you can find different allies from all sorts of backgrounds and stuff. And it's intersectionality. I've been thinking about it because like that's like the hipster nerd thing. I guess every identities are bleeding together now. It's harder to be one specific thing now, and that's just life, I guess, right? So I don't know. I've been accused of being a hipster. I've been accused of being a nerd. I've been accused of being a thug. I don't know which one I am at any point in time. Maybe I'm all of these things. Maybe that's, why do I have to be one of those things?
You got it good. I've been accused of being white.
Yeah, I've been accused of being
all
white.
The time.
Oh yeah, too white to be black, too black to be white.
Stop hanging
I know
out at
thing.
that blind person's home.
Oh, no, I know exactly what I've been accused of being, hey, you sound white. Like, really? Because I know how to put together a sentence,
I was in sales in Florida and phone sales, and I helped put together a deal that helped a family from Tallahassee move to California by working with a moving company. And before she had left, she comes by the office and she's like, "Yeah, hi, I'm looking for Jamal Harrington." Well, actually, Hayden Harrington, because that was the name that I used at the office. My name is Hayden Jamal Harrington, so I go by Jamal with my friends, and when it comes to working, I go by Hayden. So she's like, "Yeah, I'm
I see where the mix-ups come.
And why did you choose Hayden for your work name?
Sounds like Hayden too.
Yeah.
Hayden Harrington.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you so mad?
So she comes in and she has like this bottle.
Harrington's been a dick.
She has a Hayden's a when it
She
comes
has
to
this
jobs,
jar of mayo.
it's a door opener.
Oh, as opposed to Jamal. Yeah.
If you really think about it, it's a door opener. So, I mean, can you imagine Jamal calling you at your house? Would you have a conversation with Jamal? Or would you rather have a conversation
I would.
with Hayden? Well, yeah, you would. But I mean, Jason over here, would you have a conversation with this voice with a guy named Hayden, or my voice and a guy named Jamal? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know if I care, but I mean,
wouldn't there be questions like, okay, if your name is Jamal?
no, honestly, not. But I wouldn't. I don't think I'd care. Like in that case, I really wouldn't. I mean, I don't give a shit who's on the other line.
What's your
I really?
theory?
I mean, I'm not saying
just tell
that
me why
under
my
some
Netflix
circumstances,
isn't working.
right? I'm not saying under some circumstances you might be right, but I mean in that case, I don't give a fuck who's on the line who's helping me out. I'd be like,
Because here's the thing, like she comes in and she's like, "Yeah, hi, I'm looking for Hayden Harrington," and I'm like, "Oh, hi, I'm Hayden Harrington. Are you Charlene?" And she was like, "Yeah." She might as well have done that.
just take my purse. I'm sorry. I brought you this jar of mayo. Obviously, you have no use for this. Here, just take my purse. I brought you a bunch of white gifts.
Judging by the side of
Completely inappropriate right now.
Take this DVD, take this Golden Girls DVD box set and leave me alone.
I'm sorry for bringing you all this sunblock.
I'll go exchange it for cocoa butter. They'll take it back. It's not even a big deal.
So but the look on her face, and it was like for a split second, she was in shock. You know, she was just like, and then this is what she says. She says, she's like, "Wow, I was like, yeah, it wasn't what you expected, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, so got you this bottle here. Yeah. Thank you for helping me with the move." And then I'm just like looking at her. I'm not saying anything because I'm like, this is good for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving her any kind of leeway or anything like that. I'm like, "Oh, thank you for the bottle." And she was just like, "Okay, I'm going to go now." Because I think she really felt like really guilty.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was expecting, "Hey, how you doing?"
She was expecting old Chad.
That's fine. Went through all sorts of mixed emotions. She had this vision of you in her head.
I could imagine her, but I could just imagine her getting back into the car with her husband, like, "Oh my God, you're not gonna believe what just happened, honey."
No,
you should have Charles Ramsey that, man. You should have just.
I think you just took it all wrong, dude. Personally, I mean, I think she probably was going in to see this white guy, and she's like, "Oh shit, there's a guy now I want to fuck and take her back with my wife, my husband. We can fuck black guys. It's okay."
Like my husband said, if there was a black guy I could fuck, it would be you.
You delivered her a package, huh?
Yeah,
That's what
she's
happened?
like, all of a sudden she thought, shit, that's the guy my husband said I could fuck. So.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
that was in relation to our prior discussion about white people being able to fuck black guys or whatever you said.
Oh, the white ladies or whatever.
Right, the white ladies can get the pass to fuck the black guy. I didn't pull that out of thin air, did I?
No,
all
right. It's a common
we talked
thing.
about that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was just fantasizing something. But
I'm just trying to my brain is thinking right now. Like I'm fucking having brain farts, going crazy. But no, man, I was glad to get into like the nerd stuff because I wanted to clarify and make sure people just don't think I was trying to.
I feel like I'm way out of the loop on this nerd thing,
Yeah.
and maybe it's with the hipster thing too. I think I'm sheltered from all this or something. I'm not. I don't.
Well, you're an adult, so it's not like
maybe,
you need to. You're not vested in.
Maybe
these
or maybe I'm
labels.
just not self-aware. Either maybe I fit into some of the stuff and I don't know. Probably not, but maybe I don't know. But You know, I haven't seen a lot of it. Like I see the people walking around. I think I know who you're talking about, but and I see them, at the comedy club. I don't really do, I don't hang out as much as you do, like at the comedy clubs and that kind of thing. I mean, you're obviously been doing this for a lot longer. You've been around a lot more people, but I do see there's a whole wide array of characters in the Seattle comedy scene.
Oh yeah,
and those are a lot of the ones are probably the ones that you were kind of ranting about the other day too. And there's a lot of these nerds, I think, and hipsters in there. I think that's kind of what they are.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. Like I think what you were saying, just as you get older, you're like, this bothers me a lot less because I just stopped caring.
Right.
It just it's really not applicable.
Yeah.
It doesn't really apply to me that much. But although I mean, I kind of see them, and there are a lot of young people, kind of in comedy as well, like the kids over there, if you will. I mean, over at the on Underground, any given Monday night, there's people who are 17 years old out there. I don't exactly know.
Identity is fluid, man.
Yeah.
It's never one thing. You're always multiple things, man. I'm not just a comedian. Sometimes I can be a rapper if I want to be, or I can fucking put sheetrock on walls, or do yard work. So
Have you had a job as a sheetrock, as a drywaller?
Huh?
Have you had a job as a drywaller or done sheetrock?
Yeah, I had an odd job helping my friend build this apartment.
Nice.
I wasn't in the union or anything like that.
What kind of shitty jobs have you had?
Ooh, fuck, dude. Pizza Hut. I fucking delivered phone books in Kansas in the summer. That's not. I mean, you ever had pit bulls almost get off the chain and fucking devour you? That's pretty insane. Excuse me. I think my least favorite job is actually a canvasser in Seattle. I did that very briefly. I stood out there with a clipboard, and then I immediately was like, I do not like this.
You gotta like rejection, or be able to handle rejection pretty well, I assume.
You got to really believe in the cause if you're doing that, and not that I didn't agree with the cause. I was just like, you know what,
not enough for this.
I do not feel comfortable asking people for their credit cards. You know, can I see your credit card so this Malaysian child can live for another day in that hellhole? Like,
Jesus.
I feel terrible.
That wasn't like Children International, was it?
Well, the one I volunteered for was what was the cause? ACLU, donations for them. ACLU and what was it? Some environmental thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Greenpeace.
I didn't get the children shit. Otherwise maybe I would have been more successfbe. I have no idea.
Probably not. Fuck
Probably
that job.
not.
Fuck that job.
It's tough, man. Those kids, they got balls to stand out there and be told.
They
no.
do, man. I see them up in West Seattle. I see them up on the corner all the time and out by the post office and all that shit. And even the ones with the Planned Parenthood, the Greenpeace, all those guys, and they'll give up. They don't give a fuck, if you say yes or no, or maybe they're like, yeah, whatever, yeah, go fuck yourself. They've got it down. You have to really not give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they tell you too in the class. Look, you're not gonna get
1% of the people are gonna talk to you.
Yeah. They tell you that right off the bat. Like you're not gonna get too many signatures.
I just feel bad, for them. For people are just fucking assholes to them. It's like, look,
yeah.
they're doing a job.
Right.
Obviously, this isn't their favorite thing to do, but you
Right.
don't got to be a dick to someone just because they're working and it inconveniences you for a second.
Right. Yeah, I usually go. They'll come in for a high five, and I'll high five them, and then I'll be like, "Hey, I'm poor, but I support what you're doing. Yeah,
I just tell
gay
them,
bullying
no,
sucks.
Good luck.
Then I go. I keep walking, and
don't let those gays bully you.
Yeah. I'd be. If they're like, hey, you want to stop gay bullying? I don't have any money, but it gets better, man. It gets better. Thanks for.
Yeah, someone's got to wrangle those gays up, those gay bully gangs.
Yeah.
I used to do something like that actually in New York. We would go out and, like you say, canvas. We would go out and we would promote for a comedy club, like a lot of the comedy clubs in the city and whatnot. And we would have to ask people, hey, you guys like stand-up comedy? And we would tell them about the club, and we would have to get cash right off the streets, you know, and then you know, give them the tickets and they could go anytime that they want. And to do that job, I remember when I first started doing it. Oh my God, it was horrible because again, you got a lot of no's, but sometimes it was like, it's New York. It's a lot of smart aleck no's. Like, hey, you want to see a stand-up comedy? You like stand-up comedy? Oh, I hate laughing. And they just walk right past you. And you get like the multiple kinds of rejections. And it's just like, oh, wow. So I've been doing that for, I would say, like 6 years. I've been in that for 6 years. So now it's just like in my 5th and 6th year, it's like anytime I got used to just the no's, a different kind of no's, and then coming back with something afterwards.
You did that job for 6 years?
Yeah.
Wow. That must be the longest any person has ever held a job like that.
Yeah,
that's a
lot.
That's a commitment.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I liked what I do. I started to get pretty good at it. I was able to make a lot
probably
of money
helped you
out of
sort of build your personality too and your character and like be able to talk to people and all that and not give a fuck.
Well,
Or
yeah.
do you already have that
and
sort of gift?
And that's what I do now. Is
Yeah.
I can walk up to anybody, ask them a question. If somebody, you know, tells me to go fuck myself, it's like, oh, I forgot.
All right, cool.
You know, my day is complete. You know what I'm saying?
Travis, you've been quiet as shit, man. What's up, Travis? How you doing? This is Travis Hilbert, everybody. He was on episode 5, I believe.
Something like that. I'm sorry. I'm coming off of a sickness, so I'm just fucking.
Yeah, he had a Mike out.
You tell me now.
Yeah.
Even shared. I'm like,
He had a fever of 103.
I'm not contagious. I think.
You think?
Oh, well, what kind of reassurance is that? I don't have AIDS, I think, so we should have sex.
Oh, you escalated that quickly.
You kind of went 0 to 60 with the flu to AIDS,
I know.
Yeah, I got some aches and pains. Oh, so you got AIDS. All right, cool. Oh, come on, man. I'll just leave.
But are you feeling better? You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm just fucking exhausted.
Okay.
I literally was done. I was done from work for like a week. Like from Saturday to Friday, I was out.
Did you just blast out a ton of diarrhea?
No, it was my throat, man. I had a crazy sore throat.
That's boring. I was going to talking about diarrhea would have been more.
Yeah, well, my tonsils, the doctor said, looked like they were coated in blue cheese dressing.
Oh.
And then the nurse said,
got yourself a yeast infection in there,
apparently.
That's fucking.
And then the nurse said that it was one of the
Is that
top
Max?
10 things she's ever seen. So that was fun.
Good job, man.
Well, we have Mad Max on the line. He's epitomizes the name of this show. What's up, Max? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing well. I am gonna plug something tomorrow.
Oh, thanks a lot, dude.
Plug it right now.
Yeah,
dude.
go ahead, man.
Come to the Cha Lounge. It's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh,
happy birthday!
I'm retiring. I'm like Kane. I'm gonna figure out a new way and a new path.
You're quitting comedy
tomorrow night.
Nice.
What's that?
You're quitting comedy?
Yeah, I'm gonna join the French Foreign Legion. And
cool, man.
I heard that a lot of Chinese men.
He's being serious.
Join the French Foreign
He's
Legion.
being very
so
serious
I
about
figure I'll get to learn French, speak Chinese.
Are you really doing that, Max?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Oh,
no,
shit.
not really.
Holy shit.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's
You're
what
not?
I was
That's what
that
I thought.
dedicated, but
That's
you know,
what I thought.
I'm just being an asshole.
Oh, okay. You had me going for a
But
minute,
I am
man.
gonna have a little birthday party at the Cha Cha tomorrow night. It's gonna be fun.
Where's the cha cha at?
So,
all
are
the
you
characters,
choosing
all the good
are you
people to
choosing
show
a
up.
new path like Kane, or
Get
was
drunk
that?
with me. It'll be worthwhile.
I find that if you can't explain insanity, man.
No.
You can't.
No one go to this birthday party. It's going to be a nightmare. Max is a lunatic.
It is going to be an absolute nightmare. Everyone's going to be smoking weed, drinking.
Sounds
I think
terrible.
a couple
Okay,
of
so
bands will be there,
here's the main question: where is this place?
Cha-Cha's. That's right where I live at. It's right next to where I
Bimbo's
live at.
Bitchin' Burrito Kitchen.
Yeah. It's right. It's on Pike.
It is
like
it is
Tinker
the
Pike.
place where some girls in this town, they call it sketchy. They see guys like me. They're like, oh, my God, my mother told me to stay away from people like that. So then they go somewhere else.
So you're bitch repellent.
Wow.
The police told
Chick's
them
gonna be
to
at this
stay away.
place.
I mean,
The restraining
as
order
many
told them to
sketchy
stay
chicks
away.
walk into the Cha-Cha's anyway. I mean, you can probably get laid
I don't.
at least a
I
couple
don't
times a
worry
week.
about that anymore.
Just pretend like you have
Foreigners
cocaine
way
back in your
too good
apartment.
to-
You'd probably
to,
get a
pick
couple
up
of
on
them.
He doesn't have to pretend to have
That's
cocaine.
for
in his
sure.
Is he that nuts?
He's a lunatic, man.
Max is
Well, it's true. I mean, I think porn is way too good to be picking up on chicks in bars now. Like that's what they don't understand. It's that good.
Wow.
All right.
That's
that's all. That's my defense. You know, without chasing tail. Like I've been so destroyed by porn that I need a perfect woman.
Wow.
You are fucked
wow.
up.
Yeah. At least you're honest enough to admit that.
Man, fucking perfect ass, you know, the whole night.
Hey, happy hunting, buddy.
Lower your expectations, man.
Happy fucking hunt. You will
the whole nine.
Sir, I don't know you, but you will never
Even
find
Hugh
this
Hefner
person.
had
You
sex
will
with
never
physically.
You might as well die now because you will
repulsive,
never find this person.
Women. He told a story about that. He's, lower your expectations.
I mean, not for nothing. I'll settle for a 6, but no, fuck that.
My
So
addiction
for the
has
record,
just
Jamal will
gotten
settle
to the
for a
point
6,
where we're,
ladies.
no more getting laid in
If
bars.
you have numbered
I'd much rather
yourself
have
as a
perfect
6 or
woman.
above,
Maybe that's maybe
find
you
Jamal.
look in other places besides bars though, right? I mean,
like Europe.
Of course, there's always the
go to a grocery
museum.
store. Talking to women in grocery stores is fun sometimes.
Go to
man.
Beverly Hills.
A
I'd say the
laundromat.
most eligible
Perfect.
place,
That's
though,
a great time to talk to a lady.
If you go to never mind, I can't say that. I'll sound like a fucking weirdo.
Well,
you
already
do.
You big fucking surprise. You already do, man.
The fact that their self-awareness just kicked in now.
What were you gonna say?
You cannot say anything more wrong.
Self-aware, okay? Like you know, you were talking about about some liberal shit earlier. Me personally, I'm into socialist booty. I don't like the free market so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one cares about
Yeah.
that, dude.
Yeah.
What were you just about to say that was going to be creepy, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, I just think the perfect place to find like an eligible woman these days is either
church,
where she's not fucking crazy. It's
Church?
either church or when they're like dropping their kids off at school.
Oh
wow! Wow!
And he topped himself.
Wow!
I knew that was
Wow!
gonna
How do you talk? Like, how do you approach a lady right after she drops her kids off at school? Like, what's your angle? Like,
I have no idea, man. But I'm telling you,
Do you say,
they're
hey,
wide open.
cute kid?
Wide open.
right? Yeah. Hey, you
Wide
want to
open.
do the thing that made those?
And that's some sick shit though, like you know.
No, yeah, it is some sick fucked up shit.
That's level 5 creepy.
He's like,
That's-
this is
There are a
proof
lot
that
of
they've had
single fathers
sex at
out
least
there like,
once.
hell
Out of
no.
Jesus Christ, man.
How do you like? That's yeah.
Okay, yeah, do yourself a favor. Don't go to a church. Those girls aren't that stupid.
I mean, I would. Boy, that's crazy, man. I don't.
I think-
Right
I think
after she
churches
drops her
too.
kids
Yeah.
off at school.
They're desperate to be good, man. Those women are desperate to be good.
What, church ladies?
Oh yeah. They want to put you on.
Church
display.
women are filled with guilt and shame. You know, they might. That's why when people say church women are freaky and bad, there's maybe some truth to that because it's a lot of guilt and shame.
There's some
and
pent
still-
up
Because there's a lot of,
Yeah.
they're fucking
repressed.
backed up.
Yeah, and then everyone's judging them because they like a little
43,
sex.
Man, in the catalog, you know, like that's what church women want to. They're like.
But you want to bang
good.
moms that drop their kids off at school,
Who
right?
are churchgoers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Listen, I don't even want to fuck a chick if she doesn't feel guilty
I have no
afterwards. I don't even want that sex. Take it away from me.
Max, you have a really dysfunctional sex life, man. I would say
Incredible.
don't try to pick up moms dropping their kids off at
I
school.
disagree. I encourage it.
You know what you should do? You should pick up the dad. You should talk to the dads and ask them how the moms are.
You have to do a little,
they might recruit you in. We
do a little reconnaissance, you know.
Just be like, I see
your
you.
wife couldn't bet.
I'd be like, I see you're dropping your wife off because you banged her out last night and she wasn't able to do it. Was she that great in bed? And
Think about it like this. You know how like in the burbs, everybody drops their kids off at high school. They drop them off at junior high or elementary.
and you're
school,
by the
right?
fence waiting.
No. What I'm saying is that's where a bunch
He's got
of
a notepad.
He's the cross guard.
and soap opera kind of bullshit goes on, man.
Dude, that shit only happens in the soap operas. That shit doesn't.
I swear to God, man, I bet you there's more drama in a fucking elementary school parking lot.
You mean for picking up women?
And you're an old hand at this.
Oh yeah, I bet you there's some dudes there that are cheating on their wives, picking up on women.
Yeah, no, you're
playing
right.
them.
Yeah, now you're
playing them.
now you're being political.
No, you're right.
I ain't being
I have
political,
kids.
but
I've
you know what I'm
dropped
saying?
them
There's
off.
just dudes like that. You know, they're playing the game.
I've dropped my kids off at school. There's a whole subculture there. He's right. There's a whole subculture of really kinky, weird shit that goes on. It's true. I mean, I don't know how kinky it gets.
And we haven't even talked about the teachers themselves with the.
Oh my God! How about them hot women, those hot chicks fucking those kids? Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. That's a time where I think that it's okay to have a double standard. You know, I really do. I mean, like they say, a lot of people will say it's the same thing if if a man were to be going after a 14-year-old girl, it would be just as bad as if a woman were to go after a 14-year-old boy. I think it's okay to have a double standard. It's completely different. It really is. Like a boy.
How so? Like how? Okay.
Well, first of all, a man, manipulating a girl into sex is sort of a bad thing.
Right.
Sort of. It's a very bad thing. A woman.
Not right now.
A woman, trying, blowing a 14 or 15-year-old or having sex with one. Like when you're a 14 or 15-year-old kid, like you're not gonna get fucked up in the head from that. Except for the only way you're gonna get fucked up in the head is because you can't get pussy anymore when she goes to jail. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna be like, how do I get pussy now? Like I had pussy, now I don't have pussy. What the fuck? That sucks. But like you're not gonna get mentally fucked up for it. Like chicks. A young girl isn't like mentally ready for sex, really, probably, especially with a creepy old dude. But a guy no guy ever is going to get fucked up psychologically after he's like 13 or so from getting fucked by a woman of any age.
Yeah, the culture
it just is what it is. I mean, that's just how reality is. Like as a boy, your dick is ready to get sucked or fucked on. Like as
soon as you come out the pussy.
Yeah, I mean, you don't give a fuck. And a girl, you could be 5, and a girl could be 5, or she could be 30. You don't give a fuck. Your dick is like ready to go, and and that's it. And there's no like mental nothing. It's not going to shake you up and fuck you up. You're just going to go on and get more pussy.
Now, do you think that's biological?
Absolutely.
Or do you think that's cultural?
It could be a little bit cultural, probably. I think it's primarily biological. I mean, I think that, there's some cultural standards we set for, what age is what, and that may be something that happened over the years that developed culturally. But I really think that, I feel that boys can not be victimized by women, easily. I think that a boy is always ready and down, for the most part. I know me, like when I was 13, if my teacher said she wanted to fuck me, I'd be like, cool. And I would still, right to this day, be sitting here, nothing mentally would have been different. I might have been.
That's a great fantasy. If I saw a hot teacher.
Yeah, right. I mean, no fucking boy gives a shit. I would have fucked any woman at that age. Like, I wouldn't care if she was my age or 100. I would have fucked off. I would have fucked a senior citizen.
I would have
100.
I would have liked to meet the boy that was just like, nah, put her in jail. It wasn't that good anyway.
Yeah, totally.
I'd love to meet that fucking asshole.
Yeah, I got a different girlfriend who's my age, and she was a lot better at it. So,
yeah, fuck you.
No, fuck you, man. Fuck them all. You fuck every one of them if you can. Jesus.
That's interesting because you always hear like women mature faster. But then, when it comes to sex, people they
hold out longer.
Well, no, because for women it's more emotional.
Exactly. That's the thing. They emotionally can't.
It's more physical, so it can do more damage to them.
Yeah, I agree. I think they need to be mentally more mature to be ready, sort of, for that whole part of their lives.
We're treading on thin ice right now.
Because guys want to fuck whether we're mentally ready or not.
Exactly.
So it don't even fucking matter.
You're physically ready the day you get your first boner.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like
when you come out of pussy, you're like, wow, that looks nice.
Yeah.
How do I get more of this? Oh, I gotta wait till I'm older. Okay.
I mean, I remember liking women as early as like 3rd grade. I was like, oh, God,
absolutely.
She's hot.
Yeah, and the girls your age didn't even have breasts yet, and you were already ready to rock.
Well, when I was a kid, like Fast Times at Ridgemont High had come out and was on on TV or on Cinemax or whatever. This was back in the early '80s or whatever, and I was probably in 2nd or 3rd grade, and I was seeing those naked titties, and I was interested in that. I was ready to go. I was like,
Porky's Revenge.
Exactly.
I remember when that movie came out as a little kid.
I remember it too.
It was like, oh shit!
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
Max, how old
it was my first. I think it was like my first movie that I wasn't supposed to watch or whatever.
Max, how old are you?
I was a little kid.
How old are you, Max?
Is your mic on?
I will be 35.
35. So I'm 30. I'm 39. So I'm a little bit older than probably everybody. But
I'll tell you what, man. Molly Ringwald really did it for me, though. She got me liking redheads from the get.
Yeah.
We had a stripper as a teacher in my freshman year of high school. We found out when they fired her because
That's
they
great.
fired her over the fact that she was a stripper.
I think that's all the better reason to keep her on the books.
I mean, to be honest, she was a mediocre teacher at best. I mean, it was physical science, so I mean, I at least took to the course pretty easily anyway.
Was she hot?
She was okay. She was good looking, brunette, good looking. But yeah, they fired her because they found out she was a stripper. I mean, yeah,
That
I guess
was always like the reality
it's not like
TV
she told
show.
all the
There's
young dudes in class, like.
Well,
when I'm
I
done
see
with
this
physical
happening just
science-
all the time on the internet, where where a teacher will have pictures out online somewhere that someone will dig up and find, and then she gets fired
Yeah.
for it. But and that's a little easier now that the internet,
Yeah.
is you
That's
can
why
find
young
people so
dudes
easily.
need to keep their fucking mouths shut, man.
Yeah.
If you're getting some action,
I think that's another
shut
thing.
up.
We talked earlier about trying to keep the homeless people a little more polite. I think what we really need to do is teach young men to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, stop
You're
bragging.
fucking everything up, man,
Yeah.
for us all.
You don't have to brag, man.
No.
Form
You're
a little-
basically a rat at that point. If you
Yeah.
go ratting out your teacher, like you should have to do a little time yourself, you little shit. If you do
Right.
that.
Young dudes can't wait to tell everybody their business. Yeah, I banged her. Yeah.
That would be hard to keep
Dude,
quiet. I don't know what I'm talking about. That would be insanely hard to keep quiet. And of course, your buddy is going to get jealous and be like, "I can't believe you fucked Mrs. fucking Johnson." And they're going to get jealous and start.
You got to
talking.
form a tribunal, man.
yeah, you gotta be like, hey, you gotta have that-
set the standards. All right, don't tell anybody.
We got to get these kids non-disclosure
that-
agreements to pass out
Yeah.
to each other, like an app. Like I'm fucking my teacher NDA, and you just kind of like you just sign off on it, and then it's
Yeah.
like boom, it's on lock.
Yeah.
I just think the way things are going in technology and how people learn and
I just hung up on him.
Max always sounds
That was
like
rude.
he's about to say something profound, right?
Well, no, that was
He does the Obama like now look.
I thought he was going somewhere interesting with it.
This is actually one long monologue that has been taking like 35 years. And at age 70, he'll get to the point, and it will be the most mind-blowing observation.
We're not going to be there for it either.
People will write about it.
Like you could be talking about Looney Tunes, and Max is like, well, Daffy Duck, like he had a bill, and
Bugs Bunny's always making that wrong turn
the
to
Illuminati,
Albuquerque.
they have these $5 bills, and
Okay, now you're boring me.
That's really Daffy. I must be doing a great Max. I don't know.
That's a great impersonation.
Hey, you know that who's that crazy one-legged guy who hangs out at the comedy shows?
Oh,
sometimes?
the Bond villain, the Asian guy with the crutches.
Yeah.
One-legged Pete?
Yeah, no, that guy is the craziest one.
Yeah.
At the comedy show, like he came up to me. I don't know, like first time I'd seen him, he was doing Crescent.
Yeah.
And I came up right after he'd bombed and was like, "Yeah, it's David Lynch casting call, everyone." And he came up to me a year and a half later on the crutches, like I didn't know why he didn't have a foot anymore. And he goes, "David Lynch casting call, right?" And I'm like, and that's going to be the last words I hear.
Oh man.
This is how it all ends.
That guy has a lot of charisma, though. He's like the most charismatic, crazy person because he immediately notice that he's one-legged and
Oh yeah, no, he definitely
Yeah, not that makes him crazy or anything.
No, survival
but-
instinct kicks in. It's like keep this guy in your field of vision.
Yeah, yeah, because when he talks, so it's kind of like with Max. It's like it seems like he's on to something profound, but it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna get there. It's just but oh, Max, I love you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be attending that birthday party.
No one is, man. Not even his mom. Like, no one's going to be there.
No, it's just going to be a bunch of women who just dropped their kids off.
Yeah.
Elementary school.
It's going to be some single moms.
Yep.
Some Bible thumpers in the front protesting the birthday party.
And then Max is going to be like, so, I'm a black Vulcan, and I use my Vulcan powers to show the white man that you just can't fuck with black Vulcans, man. You know what I'm saying, right? right?
Yet he crowbars that term into every conversation.
Oh, yeah.
we have.
The Black Vulcan?
He is a Black Vulcan, man. He's got the ears. He's got those pointy ears.
I don't know anything about that.
You know what?
To describe Max, think of DMX if DMX had access to Zoloft. You know, like think of
All
that.
right,
'cause
crazy
he's
but calm. Like
crazy
gotcha.
but calm. Like he can go off when he wants to go off, but he's a little more thoughtful than
DMX in jail right now, by the way?
No,
Or is
you
he-
know
is
what?
he-
Last time I checked, he was on a reality TV show.
Somebody called me.
Like
Somebody called me here.
What, Max?
Somebody called me.
Huh? What happened?
Somebody called me and my phone just cuts out.
Oh, it's okay. I don't.
yeah. Well,
I don't think
good
we,
thing nobody hung up on you. That would suck.
Yeah, we hung up on you, dude. What's up?
It was on your side.
Like, am I on, on the air or whatever?
Yes, sir.
Right on,
Like,
man.
oh,
Right on.
shit, I cut out.
Do you have anything to say? Do you have any topics to talk
on
about?
many of the elements.
I'm gonna hang up
Any
again.
topics? Any
Just
topics?
take
Max,
that, there you go. Then he can't just come back. Once you call in on that thing, like they can just call right back in and it just connects them right back up. Did you notice that? Just
I'll
auto
tell you
connects.
what, I'm
sorry.
happy that Star Trek is, there's a new Star Trek movie. I want to.
Oh,
wow.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you and the
Max
rest.
isn't even using a phone. He's connected through his mind.
Yeah, I've been hearing some things about the new Star Trek. People think basically J.J. Abrams, who's supposed to direct Star Wars in the future, he's just using Star Trek as a vehicle for that. So like the movie, like the Star Trek, the one that's coming out now, it's just gonna be like action packed. A lot of just explosions, crazy villain.
I mean, it looks pretty
typical action movie stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I'll check it out. I've been watching Star Trek since I was a kid, anyway. So we'll see.
Well, the whole tribe of Black Vulcans, they'll go in there and just wreck house.
Wait, no, fuck that. We want to watch the movie. Quick, don't bring your black fucking. Don't bring that bullshit to the movie theater.
It's okay. There aren't a group of Black Vulcans coming.
No, the way he said it, I was convinced. I'm like, shit. What movie theater and what showing are you going to? So I got to avoid that one.
The Black Vulcans for a better America. They're
good. They're good, reasonable people.
Yeah, they're good, reasonable people. They're like the Tea Party, but no tea.
Darker and more Vulcan.
NAA VCP.
Keep your
NAA VCP. Yes.
Just keep your kind out of our theaters.
Yes. National Advancement for Vulcan People. Live long and prosper.
That's right.
All right. All right, so fuck, man. We've been doing this for what, an hour and a half, maybe?
Has it been that long?
Seems like forever.
It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes.
2 hours and 20 minutes. All
Yeah,
right.
but half of that was listening to Accidental Racist.
Yeah.
True. Very good point.
Well,
I
you
feel
know
like
what?
we're all better people for listening to that. Actually.
Yeah. So I think we've pretty much I think we've come to the end here. Anyone want to plug? Jason, anything you?
Comedy on Trial tonight. I'll be there. It's the first time I've actually gone up under my real name, so it doesn't really make any difference. But just a fun fact. So,
Right on.
Come vote for Jason, people.
come up and vote for me. It's very important.
Jai Tai on Thomas and Broadway, Capitol Hill. Jamal, what about you? And the show starts at 9.
Let's see. This coming Wednesday and Thursday, I'll be producing a show over at the Comedy Underground, headlined by Jay Hollingsworth. He's going to be there this Thursday. Well, I'm sorry, this Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, okay.
We're going to
shout out to Jay Hollingsworth, by the way, and his podcast, Hollins Worthless podcast.
I'm supposed to be on that, so Jay, hook that shit up.
If he's listening to this.
No, he better be fucking listening.
You hear that,
no,
dude?
He's not listening to this. He's in Oakland right now.
He doesn't care about you.
That might be true too. But this coming weekend, Friday 8:30, 10:30, Saturday 8:30, 10:30, I'm going to be hosting at the Underground for the very lovely Lori Kilmartin, and I'll be there on Sunday as well. So come to those shows.
Nice. What about you, Travis? Besides you recovering from the sickness, what else you have going on?
As
in your
always,
life?
you can hit me up on Twitter
Come see me every second Thursday at the Bimbo Room.
OG_Frobro. That's my Twitter handle. I'm at the Underground whenever I don't get bumped, which is, I am always bumped. So yeah, Bimbo Room every other Thursday. Was it this last Thursday?
Yeah, you missed it, bro. I sent you a message. I was hoping you'd be there.
Yeah, I was sick. So yeah, I guess 2 weeks from now, hit me up at the Bimbo Room. It would be fucking awesome.
Right on, right on. And Paul, what about yourself, buddy?
I'll be doing Mitch Burrows' Laugh Therapy on May 29th at Comedy Underground, and June 1st I'll be doing Comedy on Trial.
He didn't even plug the Buckley Show, man. He doesn't even know about it.
Come?
That's what I'm saying. That's
Who's
my point. No
listening?
one's coming.
Sugarbush here will be doing the
fuck up, Sugarbush.
The
Fuck
Buckley,
you, man. You got to plug the show. That's why we're having you on, dude.
the Buckley 10. They'll be doing 10 minutes in
I'm
Buckley.
kidding. They invited me. I'm probably not even going to show up. Buckley, Washington,
what
June
is it?
6th.
Way to go, Sugarbush.
What is it? 'Cause
June 6th, Buckley, Washington. Me.
He doesn't even know the name of the bar. He just
Nah.
figures
It's
pull
just
over
in
at the
Buckley,
first.
Washington.
The bar is
Pull
called,
over
the
at the
bar
first
is called
bar.
The
Bootleggers.
most English-sounding town name in Washington, by
Pull
the way.
over at the
Buckley.
first bar you
June
see in
6th.
Buckley. You're probably there.
June 6th, Bootleggers, 9 p.m. Buckley, Washington.
All right.
who's
Right
on
on.
the lineup? Who's on the show?
It's going to be me,
Travis
Kenny, Sugarbush, and hosted
Dan-
by Dan Clayton.
Oh, okay. That sounds
Cool.
Travis Kenny headliner. Buckley, Washington. Come
Hopefully
see us.
Clayton can make it all the way out there with his anklet on.
He can,
shout out
but
to Dan Clayton as
I
well.
love Dan Clayton.
Just don't
Yeah.
spill mouthwash in the car.
Our little
Shut
bridge-
down.
Not on his ankles.
Dan
but-
Clayton is our bridge troll, man. A
Yeah.
bridge troll that hosts
I love Dan Clayton.
very weirdly. Does 5 minutes in between each.
By 5 you mean 7?
Seven,
Then yeah.
yeah. Shout out
What's
to
wrong
Dan.
with
we
having a
love him.
2-day open mic?
Yeah. That's kind of what it is.
And of course, Richard Sugarbush, our engineer. He's also doing the show at Buckley with Paul. Bootleggers.
Yep. Bootleggers, 9
9
p.m.
o'clock. Excellent. And I'm, of course, Anthony Robinson. I will actually be doing Laugh Therapy. Mitchell Barrows. What else am I doing? There's a movie screening of Lenny at the Rendezvous. A bunch of comedians. We're gonna watch that. I don't know who the fuck's listening to this would go there, but you know that's happening too. And I'll keep you all posted on shows on my websites and stuff. So thank you guys very much.
Thanks for
It's
having
been
me,
a-
Anthony Robinson.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Anthony.
It's been a
Jason.
pleasure.
Thank you guys.
Mr.
It's been an
Robinson.
entertaining episode.
Jesus
Peace.
loves you more than you would know.
Everyday life.
Sisters, niggas,
Not listen to this part.
whiteys, Jews, crackers. Don't worry. If there's hell below, we're all gonna go.
You guys want to come to Sky Time? Friggin' the Jason wins. Did I already tell you about this? We get your vote. Count your vote. Call it whatever you want. Yeah.
Sisters, brothers and the whiteys, blacks and the crackers, police and their backers, they're all political laughers. Hurry, people running from their worries, while the judge and his juries dictate the law that's partly flawed. Cat calling, love falling, fussing and a cussing. Top billing now is killing. For peace, no one is